I will see you all again real soon. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Okay, started recording. Hi, here is Adama and Yuzu.
Hello.
So
Hi.
the run should start soon. It's kind of half improvised, so
Yeah.
issues with no issues, but hopefully the video recording will be cool.
Something to look back on and go like, haha, that was nice. I'll keep an eye out and just in case anyone else wants to join too. Music's very dramatic as well. Interesting choice. I can't quite bash them for it. I don't know how I've never heard this marathon before. Hello? Oh, right. Yeah. Got 219 viewers and no one's chatting in chat. Fucking damn it, guys, come on. Show some excitement. Oh, yeah, TikTok.
Honestly, those Timiko reviews live from live events, we kind of did a lot recently, and it's always very chill. Just watching the show.
It's always good fun.
Other episodes like Timiko reviews, but more like was where the walkie-talkie. We did already a bit with the simple parts. But yep, I can't really know.
We could do that with windmill percent if you want.
With what?
That's a short category, windmill percent.
Oh yeah, totally very good idea. Whoa. And actually, you got world record?
Yeah, but it's very bad.
So cool. Can I do it with you? We do it together?
Yeah, sure.
That was the concept of like having anyone can do it like with the runner, you know. If I don't know, someone beats an IL record and Stocky is like, wow, fascinated by this, he could just ask the runner to do it with him. Stuff like this.
I mean, if you're dead serious, if you're not tired after the stream, we can do it then.
Why not?
Have a nice productive day today.
Yeah. Yep. And I was supposed to do my Saturday discovery thing, you know, but I have no idea what to play.
Tokyo Jungle.
And there is near Tokyo Jungle.
Me and Aiden.
Yeah, I will wait to be in better conditions. But I could play a random cool game maybe if you're down for it. I don't know if you plan to sleep some.
I don't know if I'm going to sleep or if I'm going to stay up for like 30 hours. Oh my god, I'm playing Sea Shanty 2. Oh my god. What a fucking tune! I'll be there in chat being really annoying. No one else is, goddammit. Can't even have cat jam, they don't have fucking... Damn it. Oh, this wait is intense. It's a tune. It's a banger. Don't hate.
Oh, and I got my sound box actually. I could do fancy stuff. You won't hear it, but
Oh no.
she got trolled. Yamete side. If Hydrus has a fucking reaction, then
And Hyde just like spazzes out again. Oh boy.
when going to Avion swimming, I've got a sound from Steven Universe of Garnet saying, "I'm a really good swimmer." With the
You're prepared for every situation, I see.
yeah, but I don't use them very much in streams actually. You'd be surprised how many I got. It's a tool, but I need to.
I'll have to remind you next time.
Yeah, please do.
Use your
Please do.
goddamn sound alerts.
Yeah, please do. I need to remap a bit because some months ago, maybe 1 year ago, I lost everything in my stream deck, and I had to rebuild everything. But rebuilding it, I did a few mistakes, and I didn't invest enough time in the stream deck. It could actually be super useful for me, in particular with OBS now. I could do crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sometime. Well, we are talking about our lives.
Nothing related to the run because the run hasn't started yet. Kappa.
It was supposed to start a bit sooner, but okay. Ready.
Tech check be like.
I'm sure it's tic-tac late again. I guess he got distracted.
God damn it, Tic Tac, you're the source of all our problems. Demote him from admin right away.
So, did you see what's possible to do with the bot? I want to maybe do it in the Timico one. On my server, you can see the person streaming on the right panel. Now live over the admin.
Right.
And that's a bot that's giving automatically a role. You can make it automatically add a role when someone is streaming. And it could be a cool way to see easily who is streaming on the server.
Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily mean like it will. Like, isn't Team Eco streams just meant to be for Team Eco games?
No, it will be whatever. That's the legal issue. But
yeah.
But yeah. Or maybe we can do even better. Wow! I got a cool idea.
Wow.
In the stream, putain, I'm sure I can do this. In the stream chat, I add a bot with like an emote you can press to get a role.
Oh yeah, one of them.
Press to when you're streaming, you just need to click that emote, like I'm live, and it will give you the role and put you on the right, just when you choose to do it. So like when it's.
I still feel like it would be. It's like the same amount of hassle as it is to copy your Twitch link and paste it.
No, it's
to be honest.
the same as usual. Like you go to copy to put your.
Hello,
link.
everyone. I am your host, Sporadic Erratic, and you are.
Where have I heard that name before?
Spring Speed Fling 2021. I hope y'all are having a good time.
I'm gonna be such a shit host. Velocity is gonna be great.
That run ended a little quicker than we were expecting, but don't worry.
I do not have a good host voice. This person is like so enthusiastic and ready.
The Colossus with Rubiehart.
I'm gonna fuck so much shit up.
Oh, and of course it stopped again.
I mean, we know there's progress being made. The host has appeared. Come on, Ruby, Prage. I prayed for you. Prage.
are just joining us, welcome to Midwest Speedfest. Midwest Speedfest is a Minnesota-based organization that has been hosting speedrun marathons since 2015. In the summer and winter, we partner with 2DCon and VGMCon respectively to help raise money for their chosen charities and bring even more entertainment to their conventions. Additionally, we host 1 or 2 online marathons each year, also in support of charity. So far, we've raised over $35,000 for various charities, and we hope to see that number continue to grow exponentially.
Oh, people are pouring in.
Join the marathon.
I say
Please consider
pouring in, I
supporting
mean 2
Midwest
people.
Speedfest. In addition to our seasonal speedrun marathons, we occasionally interview runners in a podcast format as part of our Runner Spotlight series. Consider subscribing to Midwest Speedfest or cheering bits. All Twitch revenue we receive during this event will go towards Sweet Relief. Of course, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free. Simply go to your settings, then to the connections tab.
She's the best saying how to like do the Twitch like Prime subs. I absolutely hate it. It's like a pet peeve of mine when people do it on Twitch. They walk you through how to like do a Twitch Prime sub, and it's like, bruh.
You can also
Like I know it's for charity, but still, like it's such a condescending thing.
Type exclamation point Discord in chat or check out our Twitch.
It's like some people have like their night bots, which is just like, by the way, if you want to support my stream and you have a Twitch Prime, you can subscribe to me for free. And it's like, okay, no.
If you're willing and able to come to Minneapolis, you can take part in our in-person events.
Depends on the level of
course, as well. For information,
I don't think that's professional. It gets to a point. What even is strategy? Sweet Relief music. What is that? Sure, I'll learn more. Oh, fuck, oh lord. Too slow. Sweet Relief Musician Fund provides financial assistance to all types of career musicians and music industry workers who are struggling to make ends meet whilst facing illness, disability, or age-related problems. In other words, healing musicians in need. We have all received so much out of music, it's time to give a little back. Okay.
Just in case y'all didn't know, we are here raising funds for Sweet Relief. Sweet Relief Musicians Fund provides financial assistance.
Oh, fuck, I just read that. Oh my god, oh my god. I'm stupid. I literally just read that.
Premiums, prescriptions, medical treatment and operative procedures, housing costs, food costs, utilities, and other basic necessities. In March of 2020, Sweet Relief launched a COVID-19 fund to be used specifically for musicians and music industry workers affected by coronavirus. 100% of every dollar donated is used to pay for medical expenses, lodging, clothing, food, and other vital living expenses to those impacted due to sickness or loss of work. It's a lovely, lovely cause, that we are raising funds for here today. So if you have the means, please do consider donating.
I'm so impatient. Go Neum already! Go Neum! It's like elevator music. Ooh.
I'd love to remind you all that we have all kinds of incentives open that you can donate towards, including unlocking a bonus run of Celeste Classic to 100%. We're looking for $1,200 to do that, and we're sitting at $386. So we definitely have a ways to go. We have some other really, really fun incentives as well, including one to watch the cutscenes in Pepsi Man. Now we're almost there with that one. We're sitting at $67 out of $100, so not too many more donations needed to unlock that. Pepsi Man is an hilarious game. The cutscenes are great. And then, of course, the one that I'm very, very excited about, to watch the cutscenes in Mort the Chicken. And Mort the Chicken,
Mort
if
the
you have not seen
Chicken.
Mort
Oh
the
my
Chicken,
god.
this game is an experience. I highly recommend you do not miss Mort the Chicken. And I also highly recommend you get those donations in to watch the cutscenes. We only have $15 out of the $100 we're looking for that one. And oh, Mort the Chicken. I want to see those cutscenes. So, you know, do it for musicians in need, and also do it for me, please. And a reminder that we have a bid war open for the run coming up, not next, but after the next one. For Roller Coaster Tycoon, you can choose the track color, and there are absolutely no donations in towards that. So for the low, low price of a single $1, you can snipe it. You can choose the track color. The choices are blue, green, pink, purple, red, or yellow.
This person has more enthusiasm than I'll ever have.
Yeah, she's very cool, honestly.
All right, and I am getting word that we are finally set up. We are ready to go.
Yes,
The game
yes.
is beautiful.
Let's
I'm
go.
excited. I hope
Let's
you're
fucking
excited
go.
too. Here is Rubiehart with Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah. Round of applause, everyone. Come on, don't just leave us hanging. You hyped it up. Change the screen.
Guys.
It feels like a lobby. Like, just a full-on, like, lobby waiting to connect to a game. Ah,
Right.
ah.
Okay,
Yes!
so I'm gonna go ahead and transition us to live.
Wait, Ruby's
in
dog sitting
5,
for, like, her
4, 3,
parents, I
2,
think?
1, go.
So they're not in their usual setup.
What?
Oh, never mind.
He did by voice, okay.
Okay, hi, how's it going? My name is Rubiehart, and I am so excited to be playing for you my favorite game
Hello,
of all
madam.
time this
Nice to
morning,
meet
Shadow of the
you.
Colossus.
Hello.
So, if you have never had the chance to play this game before, absolutely gorgeous. Originally came out for the PS2, then was ported over to the PS3 as an HD remaster with the first game in the series, Eco.
The camera's
And
so,
then
like,
put their
long.
hands on it and make this version. So I'm gonna go ahead and count this down. It's gonna start as soon as I click normal. So we will be starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo!
Okay.
They started the timer early, the
part
goddamn
goes,
traitors.
So as was said before, my name's Rubiehart, they, she. I am a gender fluid speedrunner, actor, streamer, multidisciplinary theater artist based in DC Metro. And my host and wonderful fellow commentary is going to be provided by, let me see, by Sporadic Erratic. I almost called
that's
you.
me.
Yep, I almost called you for some reason Sporadic Mechanic, and I was like, that's wrong. I don't know what that is.
That's false advertising. That's what that is.
100%. Okay,
We'll
so
not be able to fix anything.
so Sporadic, you said that you've seen a speedrun of this game, but how much of this game do you actually know about, like plot-wise and,
You know,
and other stuff?
honestly, like I remember when this game came out, and it was the most beautiful game that I never played. Like all of my friends were playing it, and I watched all of my friends play it a lot, and I didn't actually play it myself. And so
It's just
I
like
have
me and all the
seen a
games,
lot
like,
of
I watch
gameplay
you play.
of this game.
Okay, got it. Okay, that's really good to know for context. So A, if you ever get the chance to do it, it's available for so many consoles that there are so many ways to play it. So definitely do if you can. Also, I can attest that not only are the visuals amazing, but like the music is gorgeous, the fights are awesome. So for anyone who's not familiar, the basic plot of this game is you come to this land known as the Forbidden Land, playing as this character named Wander, who I'm controlling here. Now, Wander basically had a young dead girl with him when he entered this place, and said to this ancient god, "Hey, can you bring this girl back to life? I understand you have that power." And the god's response is, "Sure, but my power is trapped inside of these 17 huge monsters, these Colossi.
17?
So
Ooh.
you have to kill them
Ooh.
first.
What is the
and then
17th,
my power will
Ruby?
be released, but it's gonna take a toll on you." So the entire game, you don't fight grunts, you don't fight side bosses, you just fight the 16 main colossi. And every single one of them are like different sizes, have different behavioral patterns, and a lot of them have weak spots. So what I did there in order to take down this Colossus is...
Where are you?
Oh no! Wander! Why would you do this?
Val's choke,
So,
Val's
to
choke.
explain what I was trying to
Recover,
do,
recover.
unfortunately,
You can do it. Let's commentate through it.
So, all of the colossi have weak spots in different areas.
Almost
of the
there.
world, and that's what allows you to climb up them once you actually
Mhm.
move to mount the Colossus. Now, this Colossus, Valus, has a weak spot on the back of his ankle, and the
Do it
reason
again.
that I'm stabbing his leg twice
There you
is
go.
that's going
Down.
to bring him to a knee.
Sorry,
Now,
I'm
the
talking
ideal
over you.
way to do this strategy is in that initial cutscene. Valus does the same
Yes.
animation, and you.
That's how it's meant to happen in the cutscene.
So what we'll do is jump onto the face or the chest, and then get up to this final sigil to do the rest of damage and be all set. Unfortunately, I got stuck behind the foot, which sometimes happens if you can't see Wander quite as well.
The jump staff.
But I was able to recover that, get on his chest, and
Right.
just like that, the first Colossus is already down. So to explain just a few of the strats that go into that fight in particular that you'll hear me reference and talk about a lot during the rest of the run. One of them is called a plant. So if you noticed when I grabbed onto the head of Valus, he wasn't going to be able to shake me, just like no matter how much he moved around. And that's because there are certain places on the Colossi you can grab, and for some reason it won't shake you as long as you don't shift around too much. And then for the final stabs, I did a jump stab because that actually takes you into the next cutscene immediately, rather than going into slow motion and taking up a few seconds of in-game time, which is what we use to calculate on the charts what is a good run and what is not such a good run. So let me see. Okay, awesome.
I mean,
so once I get on this horse,
I feel like
the next
we
Colossus we're
totally
going to be
have no
headed to
commentary to do.
is called
Yeah.
Colossus.
Ruby just has this like fully like down, and I feel like dead bad if I just talk over
Yes,
them
I'm
so
not
much.
kidding. That is a thing. So, oh god, yeah, you.
The horse.
I also-
Okay,
The
wait.
horse.
Before we
hit
get
me.
any
Circle.
further, can we
Yes.
remind everybody of the donation incentive that we have going on?
Oh my, yes!
For your horse.
I
yes.
completely
so we
forgot.
Have a
Wait,
very,
what?
Yeah, we have a very
What?
special incentive going
What's the
on
horse?
during this run. For every $5 that you donate, Ruby will pet the horse.
Okay, get your donations in.
Donations in to see those good horse pets.
And in case you need any additional incentive, my horse's name is Agro. She is a very good girl. She has been through this run with me so much. I wouldn't have been able to do it without her. So yes, if you want me to pet the horse multiple times, please donate. And also just, in general, the reason I wanted to do
Aggro,
Mid-Sprite
make
Speedflake is
money.
because they are raising
Go on, Aggro, you can do
a
it.
really, really good cause, basically helping musicians who have struggled during the course of pandemic, because
Okay, what is
artists
donation?
as a professional
Oh
actor,
god, that's so
myself,
confusing.
who lives with music teachers, that is such an important cause to me and my own personally. So please give money.
Where would you? Do you have to just like?
So,
Oh,
getting into
no.
this Colossus.
I'm so confused.
Quadratus, the way that you normally move
Oh,
this
put us
Colossus
toward.
is
Okay.
He has some of those weak
nice plans.
spots actually directly on the bottom of his hooves. So what you normally do is just walk all the way down to this beach, shoot the foot, his leg drops, and then you can climb up. But one thing that's really convenient about this
she's talking
version
about
is
intended
for
strats.
some reason, if you are standing
think.
on just the right spot on the cliff that I was on above, you can actually get the cutscene that starts the fight to activate while you're up there, and then just jump directly onto the back of the Colossus. So let me see. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take out this final butt sigil and done. All right, there's 2 Colossi down already. So this would be a perfect time to read any donations if we have any.
Absolutely. We have multiple donations. Just give me a hot second.
Did she move, please?
And here, all right, this is going to be a little bit of a test of my French accent, which has been but recently. However, we have all kinds of donations coming in from Le Baguette Stream, including, La Zezette Capu, I hope I have said your name correctly, donated $5 and said, Mais quel beau jeu, mes amis, which is, what a beautiful game, my friends.
Yeah.
Amazing, I love it. And for you, I will make sure to pet the horse, and merci.
That's one pet.
Let's see. French is actually a language. There are a few really incredible speedrunners in the community for the Team Eco speedruns
You're
who
French.
are from France. So I've been trying to do Duolingo classes to learn French. Just through
Because French is hot. Hell yeah.
So I only know a few base sentences, but I'm learning. So before we actually get started towards the next Colossus, here's a pet.
French really is an easy language to learn. It's so difficult. There's so many ways of like phrasing things, and it's horrible.
As the warrior, his name is Gaius.
Wait, did Ruby pet aggro or did I miss it?
Actually, okay. So fun fact.
Okay.
So the very first marathon that I did was I ran in Fleet Fatales for Games Done Quick. And one of my best friends, in order to help me train, we came up with a playlist of a bunch of different songs that we associated with each fight. So whenever I practiced, I would play those songs. So
What, the sound that Wanda makes when he pets aggro?
Yeah.
Or the name
When
that we
there
associate
is a
with it
follow,
is the Space
I've
Jam,
done,
because
a
there is a trick we
emote
call
of
Space
the-
Jam, or the
the logo.
Gaius launch, and
Yay.
the song
The
is
voice
too appropriate
doing
for the
the-
fight. So, with
Oh.
Gaius, what's
It's
going
like,
to happen is
someone
the way
following,
that you
it's
normally
like
defeat him
pet,
is he has a metal plate right in the center of his arena, and he has a sword that's attached to his arm, and will use that.
Oh fuck, that's my mouse. I'm about to knock off my desk. Not today.
That center plating, so that it breaks his armor, and you're kind of given a path to climb up rather than being hindered by an arm guard he's wearing and by a neck guard. But because, I'm a speedrunner, I'm not going to do that. What's going to happen instead is once I get up to the arena, and I'll
So
kind of
good at
explain
selling-
this more
selling
quickly as the
yourself,
fight
like,
goes,
promote.
he will lower his
Yeah.
sword in such a way...
If Ruby were to like
that
promote
you
like
launch from the bottom
any
of the sword
like item, I would buy it.
head.
I'm
If you
being
do it
dead
properly,
serious.
It's also one of the hardest tricks.
Ruby should get
ever.
into marketing or
So,
something.
I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that it
It
goes
seems
well.
very efficient and like wow.
But also,
convincing.
if you've never played
Yeah.
this game, but you've seen any kind of
Alive.
poster
Mhm.
art, Gaius and then the first Colossus Valus are the two that, like, there is art of probably more than any of the other Colossi, just in general public media.
Oh,
Okay, fantastic. And one thing I will say about the
Ha,
Blue Point
did it.
version of this game that is just absolutely incredible. They did a really amazing job of the original version of the game couldn't actually fully run on the PS2. So when we got the PS3 version, it gave people more of an idea of how high quality they wanted the graphics to be initially.
PS2 version was beautiful.
Just taking
Shush.
it and giving it all new gen assets.
Maybe it's supposed to have 10 FPS. You don't know
Every time I
that.
play this game, I can't help but look at a certain part of it and go, "Oh my god, this game is so pretty." Because it
Oh.
is. Okay, I'm gonna see if I don't miss this jump really quick. That's a relatively easy jump once you actually get into the speed run, but if you're a casual player, that jump is just the bane of everyone's existence, and I missed it once in a speed run and felt so ashamed. Okay, so with this Colossus, what's going to happen is I'm going to pull out my bow and take just a few steps forward, and as he's approaching me, there's actually a sigil on his stomach.
swing.
I don't need to see it to know where it is, just because I've done this fight enough. So I'm gonna hit that stomach sigil with as many arrows as I possibly can. And once Gaius' hammer comes down, I'm just gonna lay myself right in this dust pile and let me see if I can get these jumps.
First jump.
Oh no! Back up!
Okay,
Hold sword. Yes.
Unfortunately,
Come on,
this
Ruby,
jump
you
didn't
do it.
pop off as well as I would
No!
Unlucky.
And
Ooh.
I was gonna say I stayed on the hammer, and then he memed me. Wow, Gaius, this
This
is
is
really
fine. This is fine.
babe.
See, this was
I
one
don't know how
reason
much practice
I definitely
Ruby's done,
watched
so-
a lot of my friends run this rather than run it because they all talked about how difficult it was
Yeah, so
to pull this stuff off, and I was like,
yeah, so
I think that my level of calm will be better if I watch somebody play this.
no, honestly, that's fair. I will say one thing that, like, part of the reason I love the speedrun as much as I do is because you never know what's going to happen. Part of the fun of the speedrun is you can learn the hardest tricks in the book, but you still need to know the backup strats because everything is so input specific.
Very far away.
That if you miss a single thing, you have to know how to recover.
Okay, going for the backup
So
straight away.
the nice thing
Don't
is
fall off,
here,
don't
I'm
fall
gonna
off.
make sure that I keep holding on and staying on this hammer.
Oh my god.
And there is an alternate version of the trick. He's gonna move his hammer in such a way that once I get it at the right
Sword!
She's gonna
I'm gonna
Sword,
aim
not a
this
hammer!
one and
She
just
has
jump
only this
directly
opportunity
onto the
now.
stomach over here.
Ooh.
So
Oh, thank God.
just like that, I'm able to still skip that
Pretty
arm guard
floaty.
even though I missed the initial launch.
Nice.
So now that I've done enough,
Emphasize how hard the game is,
Um,
please,
I've
because the
done
game is
some
actually very hard. And most people look at this and think, oh, I can do that.
so that saves me time.
Oh,
and
this is
one
easy.
Less, you see, one less stab I have to do, and I'm
Don't
able to
fall off
jump
the
just
arm guard,
immediately over
please.
to the other arm, and I'm gonna use this to get up to the head. Whenever
It's a very
Gaius
terrifying
hits something,
point.
But please, thank you.
Oh my god, that's a
Me
risk.
yelling
Oh
at
boy,
them
what?
and calling them really
That was
dumb
some
names,
movement.
is just kind of a thing at this point. So if something goes wrong on one of the
Hard to find
fights,
the plant
just be
here.
prepared for that.
No.
Oh, that's
One was
memed.
a team.
See, I'm trying to get the
careful.
plant here, but the plant
Oh.
This is good.
sometimes likes to not
I
cooperate.
need the
Aha!
plant.
There it is. Okay,
But she's
amazing.
gonna
So
move.
now that I've got the plant, he's not going to be able to shake me unless
She's gonna
he
move
turns
this.
his head completely upside down.
Yeah, if guy starts
But
like
I'm
going
pretty
at
sure
it,
we're gonna
then
get it just
Come
before
on,
that
Grid,
animal.
now.
come on.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
thank
good.
God.
So there is the third Colossus. Down. Ha! Yeah, honestly, some
That must be
people
pretty
don't like to play
nerve-wracking.
this game because of how difficult it is. I get. And did any of your friends ever play it on hard mode?
You know, honestly, I can't remember because this game came out quite a while ago. So
No, that is totally fair. So the reason I ask is the Colossi are already hard as it is on normal. If you run it on hard, not only do some of the Colossi have extra sigils, but you have to do about twice as much damage or 1.5 times as much damage to each sigil. And they have extra animations to make it easier to get thrown off. And you don't get any additional stamina, so any more stamina you would have on normal. So a lot of hard mode when running this game is fighting to get every animation frame perfect so you don't run out of stamina before being able to get into one cycle of the fight. It's pretty bonkers. And actually, this is going to be restreamed in German and Japanese, and two really awesome runners in the community, one who's found a lot of glitches in the game, and then one who is the world record holder for any percent hard, are going
yeah.
to be the ones commentating those. So the German restream is going to be commentated by Tic Tac, who, like, taught me so many of the tricks I know. So thank you, Tic Tac. And Gucci is the other
Hey,
runner
Goo.
who has found a bunch of glitches in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the next Colossus I'm headed towards. Sporadic, I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor on this next
She's
fight.
gonna talk about the animal.
Everyone I've talked to has said, I call this Colossus Horsey Boy, but people
Okay, I
have called
was
it a
totally
giraffe,
sure.
a llama, a dragon,
We
a
always talked about
elk, a
reaching
deer,
Hydra. I
just
think,
a
like,
million
every time
things.
I've seen
So
her
like,
during
tell
live
me
events,
what
she
animal
always
you
talks
Sorry, I
about
can't hear you
what's
too
going
well
on
for
in
some
the
reason
Colossus.
again.
because I feel
Sorry,
like
what?
none of us can actually
I
decide.
can't hear you too well. Hold on.
All right,
Really?
I'll be the tiebreaker.
Here?
Amazing.
I'll
Is it okay?
shoulder this burden. But in the meantime,
Uh,
do we have time for more donations? Because we have more donations.
Oh my god, yes, please hit me with it.
All
Hello?
right,
User,
so
can you
La
hear me?
Zezette Acapou
hold
has
on.
been very
Let
generous.
me
They
switch
said,
to.
"Stream a
Wait,
regardé par la
I heard you
partie
cough
sporadique
very
et
clearly.
contagieux," and donated
Can you hear me?
Blah, oh, are you here?
$5.
Hello!
Is that okay?
Blah, blah, blah.
Freaking
Yes, it's
amazing. Thank you
fine.
so much for
Okay,
the
good.
donations.
Don't
Blah, blah,
hesitate
blah.
if that happens to
Right, and
leave
here, we have
the
time for like
voice
one
chat
more
and
if
come
we've
back
got
maybe.
another.
Well, of
Yeah.
course, La Zezette Acapou did not stop there. With another $1, they're coming in here with the French puns. Pourquoi vert? Parce que je suis de Nevers. De Nevers. And so the
Je suis de
joke
Nevers.
there is, I didn't
Yeah.
even translate the previous. Anyway, white green
Okay.
because I'm from Nevers, and then de Nevers is a green bow, and so it's a de Nevers, de Nevers. There you
Oh.
go. Enjoy
That
the
face
French
plant.
puns, y'all.
That face plant.
Oh my
She
god,
was totally
no!
shocked by that.
Everything
That's an
is all
mega
going
lol
for the
moment.
donations, but I miss the jump on this Colossus.
Everything's going wrong. Oh,
Colossus,
thanks for the donations.
known
I
as
love
the
it.
camera.
Phaedra
Stay
or
focused.
Phaedra as we
Okay.
call her in the
You can do
community
it.
because we
It's
love her,
slowly.
even though
Slowly rock up.
she also can be really annoying to get
Look
on
at the
top of.
camera.
So this is the
camera.
Colossus that I'm talking about.
Eddie.
That could be
The
a
camera.
million different animals.
Don't aim.
The
Don't
Steve.
aim
way
the
that
All right, that's
you-
clearly a camel.
It's a
That's
camel,
that's
okay.
my.
Camel?
Alright, amazing.
camel.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know what? I
Llama?
can see
Wait,
it.
elk?
Yeah, like
What's the camera
you
doing?
understand why everyone just constantly calls it different animals.
Stop.
There are so many different
Stop
traits.
disturbing her. Yeah, jump.
Okay, so
Ooh.
the way that you normally beat this fight, and I am doing a very poor job, which is unfortunate. With this
Let's
Colossus, normally there are a bunch of
I
bunkers
think,
behind me that you use to trick
You
the
can
Colossus
stand
into
up on aggro
trying
and
to
then
get
slowly
out.
canter over to the leg, and then you get
What I'm
a
gonna do
big
instead
jump. I think I remember
is
Jake
I
doing
can
that.
launch myself at the feet
camera.
at a certain
aiming,
angle
like,
that I am not
automatically
getting
aiming
right now, which is
side
very
right,
unfortunate. But
Isn't the camera being down
once
gonna
you
stop
just
one
get
from jumping
directly
aside?
onto the back of the Colossus rather than doing a million animations to try and trick the Colossus.
What's the camera actually doing? I've never seen Ruby use a camera like that
Really
before.
easy to
Yeah, like
recover
this.
if you happen
Stop
to miss
aiming,
this trick.
Oh, that's
but
alright.
In any percent, it's very hard. But finally, okay, I'm on the ankle.
she's
now I just
explaining
need to
how
get to the
in
back
any
part of the
percent
leg.
you
So
can't
let's
retrace
see.
this.
I'm gonna let
Yeah.
Phaedra just like
Iguchi actually,
it's
he's
easier for a
onto
second
something.
because, you know,
He's,
that's in
I think,
nature.
you know the Phaedra butt glitch?
Okay,
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, and
You
once
can
it's
actually
up here-
activate
No!
that
I
by,
hate
oh no.
everything. Okay.
This one is
Ah,
yeah.
okay, so
Lol.
if that had gone
But yeah,
right,
I think you can activate the Phaedra butt
if
glitch by
anything
skipping
and
the
had gone right.
cutscene at a certain
So
frame.
the way
Oh, really?
that you would,
That's cool.
I remember
That's
Iku
really
use that
practiced
angle
it,
to
and like he
to
got
get
butt
onto the
glitched so
ladder
many
and to
times in like
use
one go that it was like
something
not,
more
it
and
wasn't
get onto the
coincidence.
Colossus.
Cool.
Um,
Good to know.
but
Oh, there's
I was
Ruby,
having
come
a
on.
really hard time of it this morning, which is
Come,
very unfortunate.
Ruby.
I'm gonna blame this on the fact that I am
I'm
not a
raising my
morning
hand.
person,
Yeah.
and getting up this early for me is an accomplishment.
I'm raising both my hands,
Count
god damn it!
on Even getting some of the tricks.
Oh wait, shall we like spirit bomb?
Try this one more time.
Just-
Oh no, babe!
Oh, on the case of three, you just go hua!
I know that the big
Just
horse is
fucking
scary,
left.
but I need you. I cannot.
Tiger
I
left the
literally
chat.
can't do this trick without you.
Hey, super chill now.
Thank you.
Don't bowl,
Oh, Jimmy,
roll,
Jimmy.
careful!
Oh my god.
Say!
Okay. If I don't get it in
This
one more
is
second,
the price to
then
pay,
I
like,
might actually have to do the
5%.
casual strat, which is
Yeah.
really unfortunate.
Marathon pressure doesn't always work out in the end.
I swear,
Oh,
y'all,
yeah,
I am
that's
good
fine.
at this game.
That's
I swear. Let's see. Come on.
I still love you, Phaedra, don't worry. You're still my favorite.
And yeah, she won't be able to read the chat.
No. In these kind of marathons, I don't think you're allowed to.
That means that it's gonna get nicer later.
When she...
Oh my god.
Yes,
Thank you.
allez, this one is the one.
Okay.
Come on!
And getting to the second part of the ankle.
Go,
Yes.
go, go.
Yes.
Hold on, careful.
Wow.
Oops.
Okay,
Oh,
that was
okay,
way,
one hand.
way longer than I like. Typically, I get that first, maybe second
Eeh.
try. So that was just a whole can of memes that we opened.
was
But that's
really
okay.
sad,
Now that I am
really
on the
sad.
Colossus, the next thing that's gonna happen happen is
Big
you'll
re.
probably see this weak spot on the back of the neck. So all I need to do is stab that like twice,
Mhm.
and that's gonna get Phaedra.
Ooh, it's
her
kind of low on the neck.
So let me see.
No
Alright,
shakeless?
Whenever you're ready, babe. Thank you.
Okay, don't
Okay,
flick your
awesome.
head,
So
Phaedra.
now that I've
Oh, jump
flicked
stab.
it,
That's
it was
spicy.
very, I
stab
don't think
all
she
the way
did it
home,
intentionally,
and
but
I
it
got
was
like
nice.
a little baby
It was
jump
instant.
stab there, which was actually
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Let me see. I want to.
That reminds me,
Actually,
you know
with the
that
seed
thing that
thing-
Sil did
Now
with
that I'm on point, I
Basaran?
should just be able to stab this all the way home.
Excuse me.
With like
fried
the...
rice?
Sorry, what?
Okay,
What did you say?
Oh, you know that thing, I think it was Upsil was doing with Basaran, where it's just like repeated fast stabs on the head? I wonder if you could do that on Phaedra too.
Yeah,
No matter
yeah,
how much you
the,
plan and
like
practice,
chaining cycle
sometimes you
stabs
get
in a way.
memes like that. But what
Yeah,
can you
yeah,
do?
and
But
even
yes,
I
if you
think
saw
there
those
are possibilities
bunkers
maybe
in the
for
background,
jump stab
those are the tunnels
consoles
that I would have used if
a
I was
bit
playing
in
this
the same way
casually
that
in order to
Basaran.
draw the attention of the
Mhm.
Colossus and
Yeah,
either jump
it could be
onto
compared,
the
that's true, because they have
beard
very
of the camel,
flat,
is what you said?
forehead, like top of the head and like, yeah.
I think it
That
was,
is correct.
But Phaedra
Dr.
has this
Camel.
kind of
That
a
is definitely
crown,
Camel.
which you could, like,
Final
go up
answer.
against, I guess.
I
I don't know.
honestly love
Yeah,
it,
you
and
can
I can
also
see it.
roll against,
Just the fact that it doesn't
like
have a
roll
hump
Yeah.
in the
yourself
middle is
and
what's
you
throwing
can
me. Are
self
there
stab
humpless
by
camels?
rolling and
Yeah.
reroll instantly,
I
stuff
believe
like
so.
this you can do.
Okay,
In the IL,
cool.
it
Well then,
looks like this a bit.
that absolutely tracks.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, and now would be a really good time for more donations, since it's going to take me a bit to get to this
Bon,
next
the
fight.
roll cancel. There
That's
is no
great because we
1%
have
bonus,
more
but-
donations.
Mhm.
Pixel ADB sent in
You
$10.
can only do it in
It says, hey
classic,
Ruby,
can't you?
it's Pixel. Wishing you the best of luck this morning. We're all rooting for you, and be sure to give the horse the biggest pets.
All
Okay.
right, well, since we got
One.
$10 there, I'm going to give 2 more pets to our lovely horse. And thank you so much for the good luck. Hopefully on this next Colossus, that's going to pay off, because the last one was very much a meme.
Oh boy.
Let me see, and if you have, we have time for like 1 or 2 more if we've got more.
Staying in the air.
I do want to talk about the
Fall in the
goals that
water.
the incentives we're trying to unlock, especially the Celeste Classic 2 bonus run. We'd really, really love to see some more Celeste this time around, but you really need to get those donations in. We're sitting at $386 out of the $1,200 we need to unlock it.
Oh my god, and Celeste is such a good game. The runs of that are absolutely insane. So
Right? I'm really hyped
Yeah.
for the Celeste block. It just looks so amazing, and this would really round it out in the most thrilling way. So do remember, yeah, when you're getting those donations in,
My
to
eyes
pet
have
the
suddenly
horse
gotten
and to
heavier, I
support
don't know
Sweet Relief,
why.
because that's why we're here. Also,
Oh,
make
no.
sure you
Yeah, she's
click
talking
on
about
that
Celeste,
incentive.
yes, please
Celeste
do.
speedrun.
Okay,
you
and we
watch
are
a lot
now
of
pulling up on
speedruns?
this fight, so
Oh.
I'm gonna start trying to
Did
get into it because this
what
is gonna
do
be
you
the
know
first
of Celeste
flying
and the
boy.
speedrun?
So
I've never seen a Celeste
over this
speedrun
fight,
before.
but,
That's,
I personally am a huge
you
fan of
maybe
it, but it's
intend
also
to
one of
maybe
those
someday
colossi
play it?
that when it goes well,
Wait, I'm not sure. That kind of like
they're all
2D
powerful.
kind of
It's a really good
jump
feeling. And if you
platforming
get it
thing
wrong,
isn't really my cup of tea.
all you can
Okay,
do is
okay.
scream, how could this
Or
happen to
maybe,
me
with
over and
the
over
playing the
internally,
game,
or
if
the way
someday
that I
you can
usually do
see a
on my
speedrun,
stream
it's like,
externally, because
Oh, I
people
definitely will see a
see
speedrun one day.
my
Yeah, that's
visceral
crazy.
anger at Colossi.
I could,
So
play
with this
actually.
Colossus,
But
this
what?
one is my birdie
We're
boy
gonna
or Avion.
talk about this later.
This one is over
Okay.
a huge arena
I'm
that
a
is
very good
just
swimmer.
completely sunk into water. And that's where the how could this happen
Oh,
to
yeah.
me bit of the fight comes into play. The way that I'm going to be beating this Colossus is actually pretty similar to the normal strategy that you would use when it comes to just like a casual run of the game, with 1 or
Talk about
2
the IA
pretty
jump
big
stab.
exceptions. The problem is
Shout out
things
Foxy!
that we do as speedrunners in order to
The
optimize
Shut
the
up,
game
bud.
the crazy
also
human
make it
to
a
try
lot
that during
riskier.
80%
What's
in
gonna
marathon.
need to
Okay,
happen? Oh,
careful.
whoops, that's a wall. I was looking at the camera and excitedly talking. This is what happens when you emote with your face and hands. Okay, so we just now entered
Mega distracted.
this place. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to my bow and just jump directly in this water. And if you saw those 3 platforms up ahead, those are what I'm gonna swim towards. And the way that this fight works is you have to mount the Colossus in order to be able to do any damage.
Okay, this just reminded me of like a dream I had not too long ago, and it involved Avion and this arena, and now I'm just really confused. Oh my god.
There's one on
Yeah,
either
you have
side
this
of
effect
the
of,
wings, and then there's
Like,
one on the very back of
you
its
think
tail.
you've dreamed of it, but
So
maybe you're
what's going to
actually
need to
creating
happen
the
is once I
memory
get
right now.
up to
No, I've definitely dreamed of it.
to get its
Yeah.
attention,
Okay.
and once
Yeah.
it swoops down, I'm going
Because
to
there
be
is
able
this
to
effect
grab
happening sometimes.
onto its
It's called,
wing.
it has a name,
And the
it's
big
pretty
difference here,
identified
because
and
this
for
is the way that you
extremely
would normally
interesting
do this
reasons,
fight.
that's
Like
not the case here.
The
hallucination.
difference here as
No,
speedrunners
it's
is
like
that you
you
do
Deja
have
vu?
the
wing
hard feeling
drops.
like you already
Now,
have
with wing
experience.
drops, depending on the
Even if you dream
RNG of
something,
if
but you
the
actually didn't,
first
and
little
it's just because
animation,
you're
which I'll point
super
out when
tired,
it comes,
and like your
of
brain
when the wing goes up or down,
frequency
that determines
system
if
is
I'm going to
for
be
your
able,
memory
once
is not
the
working
Colossus does a barrel
And
roll,
Wing up, wing up.
to drop from one
Okay,
wing
Sorry.
go
all the
for
way
it.
down to the opposite
Wing
side
turn.
or not. Now, I
That's
got the
good.
up wing there, which is really good. That's what I want.
Really good, really
Because I'm going to
good.
get
Drop
this
it.
really nice animation,
Yes,
and then I
Plinus.
can just
Oh, that
drop
was
all
close.
the way to the opposite wing, rather than having to worry about holding on
That's
to the
okay
fur
because, the
and like
time he
climbing
got,
the spine and all this other kind of
Oh,
stuff.
oh lord.
Putain,
Oh
fucking
lord.
grabbing
All right, she's gonna get out some of her
definitely
angst
not.
really quick, which is fine. You know, if I had a very
Please stop flapping, AV.
that like was stabbing
Oh,
you with
this
a
is
sword, you know,
interesting.
normally, I would be a little
She
upset
has...
too. But now that
she
I've got
doesn't
this
have
second
much.
wing, I'm just gonna
She
wait
doesn't
and
have
then
You
much.
got this. Turn, turn,
Careful,
turn. Let go.
really soon. Yeah, okay.
Go. Oh, oh, go, go, go.
Did not appreciate that, Avion. Thank you.
Cool,
Okay, cool.
okay, she
So
got
we're now
Oh my god,
set.
please
I'm
don't jump,
on the
please don't
tail,
jump.
and at this point, I can
I said don't jump. Oh my god, you literally.
Don't
Oh my
jump.
god,
The
Ruby,
wing is
stop
actually really
it.
cool.
Stop
So
it.
right now I'm doing a stab on top of the sigil, but
Christ.
this particular weak spot.
No, don't do it, please.
Directly on
Paraphone.
as long as I
Paraphone.
run back third of the
Oh.
tail, it's still going to register the damage.
Reese.
And I usually do a jump stab, a regular stab, and another jump stab to take out that final one.
Okay.
So, just like that, there's Birdie Boy, there's Avion. Oh, okay, that... With how big of a meme the last fight was, that was so
Oh, boy.
much smoother. I'm feeling much better about just
That made my heart
life
sink
choices in
for
general.
like a solid 20
Oh,
seconds.
good.
Yeah.
So glad.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
if you I feel like anyone who is a speedrunner can relate to this feeling of like getting into a run, being really solid at it, and then having one of those runs where just every single thing goes wrong when you have
Oh, yeah, all the
a
goddamn
meme
time.
happen and you're able to recover and just keep doing well on like future fights.
Okay,
It's
not that
such
part.
a good feeling because full-on meme runs are the worst. Okay, let's...
I only have full on meme runs. I'm sorry, Ruby. I can't relate to that. I can't recover from my bad runs.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. If there's anything else to read out, now is a good time, and then I can get into the description of what this next fight is going to be.
I mean, I definitely always have things to talk about, including the other incentives that we're looking to unlock, including watching the cutscenes in Pepsi Man. We are even closer to that one, sitting at $72 out of the $100 needed. We only need $28 more to watch this cutscenes in Pepsi Man. And if we're talking about memes, it doesn't get much more meme-tastic than Pepsi Man.
Wait, I'm sorry. I know we're in the middle of a Shadow of the Colossus here, but what? Pepsi Man? This is a game?
You've never seen Pepsi? Have you
No!
ever seen Pepsi
Oh my
Man
god,
before?
what? Okay, no, please
Man.
tell me about this game. What?
So Pepsi Man,
Yeah.
Pepsi Man was like an event. Pepsi
Ruby
Man was, like, a
is
thing
an
that
avid
happened,
Pepsi
like,
supporter,
and there
I
was a
see.
game on top of other
SMH.
things. There were all
Okay.
kinds of merch. Like if you Google Pepsi Man, you will see it's this mascot that existed.
It's like a C tier
Basically,
drink,
like
I
a
think.
really buff dude in a skin tight bodysuit
I shall do
with a
cheers
Pepsi
one day.
logo on it.
Seriously.
Okay, this may sound like
Yes.
a really dumb question, but I feel like it's necessary to ask. Could you see the face of the bodysuited man or
No, it's one of those. It's one of those
full
joke
ha-
ones. Yeah,
okay.
he doesn't have a face. Yeah, there's
That's-
no face. It's just silver. Yeah.
Okay, that's why I had to ask of like, is this just like an amorphous blob of a person? Is this like a slightly, 18 plus thing?
You know
we're
those like
thinking
you know
about?
those bodysuits that you can buy that are like a full body like
green screen suits.
bodysuit?
Yeah,
like a green screen.
Yeah.
No, I mean like they're really
This is
popular
painting a
in
weird
Japan,
picture in
which
my
is
head.
Where this this mascot originated.
Because I
So-
don't understand everything they're saying.
so-
I'm imagining a bottle of Pepsi with
No,
arms
he's
and
just
legs.
wearing one of these outfits,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's like
literally
basically
that,
his
just like,
body because
you know,
he's a
like,
mascot. Cause like back in the day, like there were all
mascots
these
of
figures and
things
stuff,
are
and
like
if you Google it,
sports
especially they
events where
have
they
the
dress up
kind
as dumb
that
stuff.
like
like
you
that,
get on
I
top of like
imagine.
a cap of like a bottle of Pepsi, then like all these different poses. Yeah, if you're seeing Pepsi Man for the first time, take it in. This is what it says in the chat.
Oh my God,
See it for the
Emerald.
first time once.
Oh,
It's, yeah,
hey!
yeah.
How's it going,
Pepsi
Emerald?
Man is definitely experience that you should have, that we should all have, and we should definitely experience those cutscenes. And for that, we need $28 more. How many pets would that be for the horse? I mean, if you donated like $30,
It would be
then it would be 6 pets for the horse,
yeah,
right?
so it would be 5 pets for the horse. And I will say,
Just give me
for
one
anyone
second.
who is part of the Crystal Crew community or the Team Eco community, and if you're looking for a reason to donate to that cause, I need to see that now. So please donate.
Okay. Wow.
Please.
Pepsi Man.
I need to see it now.
Strong feelings.
You don't
Strong
understand.
feelings about Pepsi Man.
I do. I need to see this. I need to know.
I mean, I do understand because when I first heard about Pepsi Man, my reaction was kind of the same, and then I
Yeah.
really enjoyed Pepsi Man, and
Oh.
it's a very enjoyable game to watch speedrun.
Amazing. And I'm gonna put a pin in this because we're in this next fight. Okay, so Barba is this next Colossus. So what I'm gonna do in order to speedrun this fight is there's actually a particular part of the cutscene where if I skip at the right moment, I'm going to end up directly on top of the Colossus. So I don't have to do, yeah, there it is. Okay, so the way that you normally defeat this Colossus is he is very aggressive and very smart. There is a temple in the back, and if you hide in the
Okay,
temple, he'll
she
eventually
went
lower
perfectly
himself to figure out,
on the top
hey,
of his
where
head.
this little
Is
man
this
trying to kill me go? And you're able to jump onto his big beard. But by skipping that particular part of the cutscene, which all of us kind of figure out the timing by looking at certain markers in the walls. Some people use a notch, some people use a line. It really just depends on the runner. But by skipping at that exact moment, you're able
sure
to
to
just
find the
teleport and
dimension.
end up directly on his beard. It's a relatively newer strategy, like found
Okay.
in the last, I want to say, year or two.
the back.
So I know, like, the first run that happened at Games Done Quick of the PS4 Shadow of the Colossus, that
Let's see,
trick didn't
no.
exist yet. So it's one that's relatively newer to runs. But now I've done 2.5 stabs to the head sigil. Now I just need to get in the final stab and a half, I think it is, to this back sigil. And just like that, Barba's down. Yay! Yes, okay. So now that we're done with the fight, I know that Shadow of the Colossus is important, but like, listen. Real talk.
Pepsi Man. Pepsi Man.
Yes. I need, okay, so the way that I am obsessed with Pepsi
You're like,
Man
I
and this-
need more.
Well, yes, and here's, okay, so to put this in context, the way that I am obsessed with this is the same way that I am obsessed with bears at this
So
moment.
is
And the
there
reason
a
I say that,
donation,
have you ever played
comment?
Kentucky Route Zero?
No.
Okay.
What do you mean
So-
bears?
So
What is
there's
happening?
No, yes, exactly. So anytime that you play Kentucky Route Zero, it is a game that will make your brain shatter and you think you understand what's happening, but think of like the movie Parasite and you think you understand where it's going and then something else happens and you go, no, I sure don't.
Sorry, I have to step away
did
for a
not
minute.
predict this. And
course.
I am having so
What did I
much
miss?
fun
I found
putting
the link.
pieces together with
Okay,
it. But there is, it's a very absurd game, and there's a moment where
How did Barbara go?
for Kentucky Route Zero, y'all.
Barbara went perfect.
but not
She
too
got,
heavy.
she had
At
the
one
glitch
point,
to
you're in an
get,
office
on the
building
top,
in this
Nice.
strange space,
yeah, the
and
was okay,
you
waited,
get in an
like,
elevator,
a few
and
cycle
it
animations
says,
for the
"All
back,
right,
but it was
floor 1 is
Awesome.
really good.
accounting and marketing. Floor 2, records and profiles. Floor 3, bears. Just bears. Just bears. Just bears. That's all it was. And then I went
Oh,
to the
fuck,
floor,
I really
and it
need
was
popcorn
literally
for
just a
shit
floor of
like this.
bears. Just watching me. And my friend Steven and I are both Let's Play streamers, and we both recently played this game, and I played it second, and as soon as I
Oh no,
finished
I
that
really
moment,
want
Steven went,
popcorn.
"Okay, I
Oh
can
no,
finally
my
show you
alarm's
this,"
about to
and sent
go
me a
off.
highlight,
Please don't
and
go
it was
off, please
basically
don't.
the exact same reaction, which was just,
Save.
it's literally just bears. So yes, the way I'm obsessed with Pepsi Man in this moment, which is I don't understand this thing, but I need to know why it's here, is the same obsession I have with bears in Kentucky Route Zero. If that
I mean,
makes any
definitely
sense.
there's plenty of Pepsi Man content out there just waiting for you to discover it, so.
You know what? I love finding new Google rabbit holes to go down. So this is gonna
Google
be
rabbit holes.
one of the furthest.
No,
down
don't recommend that to
anything
chat,
into
Ruby. No.
I have gone.
No, not the
rabbit
rabbit. No.
hole-wise is
There are some
actually,
things you shouldn't
Captain
search. No.
Yes, I actually have seen. Finally, something that you have seen
Yes!
that I've seen.
Ha!
Yes,
Oh,
So
I have seen Cabin in the Woods.
I usually don't ask this much, but this is the topics that we're talking about. So the reason I bring up Cabin in the Woods is I was really obsessed because in the scene where you see all the different monsters in their containment chambers, at one point I watched it and was like, that's a tank. Wait, and there's a witch over here. I'm a big Left 4 Dead fan, and a bunch of the monsters from Left 4 Dead were in the movie. And then when I went and Google rabbit holed it, I found out that they had
Google rabbit holed it. Oh my god, what a term.
Not only were the
Oh, I'd
monsters
really use that term to describe
in-
other things
in Left
that
4
aren't so
Dead,
family
there was going
friendly.
to be a whole campaign map that was
Yeah.
the above and underground part.
When I think of rabbit holes, I think of 4chan.
And
I was about
then
to
it got
do
canceled.
Wow.
a mention
Yeah,
to,
so like we
to
never got the
Freedom
level.
Moment,
Yeah,
but,
so like they made the movie,
Hmm.
the monsters got put in, but then they
The
never
cum.
actually carried out.
Will
the
Ruby
plan
say
that they
cum
had
during
the
this
levels
run? We'll find
made,
out.
So the Left 4 Dead fans like never actually got anything out of it,
Or
which
maybe
is so
cuck.
unfortunate because it would have been so cool. Yeah.
You know, like, speaking of games that have, like, tie-ins to other games,
Yes.
Monster Hunter does that really, really well.
Oh, fuck,
Actually,
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter just unapologetically ties into other games constantly, and it's really funny because it's the type of game where you have to fight giant monsters. Very similar, actually. I mean, Shadow of the Colossus is beautiful, but it's the same kind of thing where it's just sort of endless boss fights. You know, that's like all you do is
Oh yeah.
hunt these giant monsters. But then, you know, you have like a little cat sidekick that's dressed as Mega Man with Mega Man sounds, you know,
So
like you do.
I had never actually played a Monster Hunter game, and then
Bro.
like way before the pandemic. Excuse
Bless
me.
you.
Pollen is great. A few friends had gotten me into Monster Hunter Worlds, and I never got to finish it. But oh my god, I remember loving so many of those fights
Oh.
so
Okay,
much.
so Hydras.
Okay, we're about to be in the next fight here, and I don't know where I landed, so this is gonna be interesting.
Well,
So
That's
Pollen
not exactly
stays
right,
so
oh
I can
boy.
focus on the fight.
That's
So this is
that's a
Hydras.
position.
That may be a bit,
Hydras is basically my Sparky boy, my Ely boy. He has these huge nodes on his head, as you can see. Normally, ways to speedrun this. One is just doing
This
one
Hydras is
cycle,
making
one
me,
is a series of jump stabs you can do, but because
question.
I landed in a weird place in the water, I'm not going to be able to do that second one. But what I'm going to do is as soon
Oh, you're
as
swimming.
Hydras,
Oh, what's going on? Oh
you can
no, oh
see his
no,
eyes
oh no.
already turned orange.
Oh,
That means he's aggravated.
oh, not doing the jump stab.
I'm gonna
Okay.
do this bow in the water
Okay.
and
That
basically
context, I think.
mount directly
It
on
Yeah.
the back
was
of
pretty-
his
That's
tail.
a good shout.
So let me just do that really quick. Okay, awesome. So now that I'm on the Colossus, one thing that's actually really cool is you can roll and keep moving on this Colossus while you're underwater. So rather than just holding on for dear life and praying that the ship gets above water like you would casually, you can just keep rolling up the back of the Colossus. And I'm not going to regard any of my safety. I'm not going to
Underwater
stab out
rolls.
the nodes. I'm just going to
Go,
take
go, go, go.
because
No
if you
shock.
stab the node,
No
it
shock.
actually
No, you're in
starts the
a bad zone. Ruby,
how long
stop.
he can stay
You're
on
hurting
the
yourself.
before he goes back underwater.
I know in the PlayStation 2/3 version, like the parts of Hyde's body that you were immune to shocks were like more visible. Like they're actually like patches. That's a very, you know,
I'm gonna
patchy.
go ahead and just do a jump stab here,
Alright, be careful
and that's
to
gonna
Take
get
out
me
the node.
onto. No.
Thank God this is hard.
I've still got plenty of health.
I don't know about
Same
his behavior from
For the love of God, Ruby, stop it.
So he's
I would
very
like to, you know.
near.
You're gonna.
Oh,
Stop!
this is the end now,
I'm
next
just
shot.
gonna take
Yeah,
this out
yeah,
really
yeah,
quick.
Yeah, yeah, oh la la.
No!
Oh
I stabbed
no, he
it.
died at Hydras.
That's
Sam.
rude. How dare
It
you?
was
I'll
so
set up.
epic, seeing the
Okay,
light.
hang on. Hang on,
Yeah.
this is just rude. Okay, well, the nice thing is,
Oh,
I might
that's
actually be
oh,
able
that
to
was so like
So
oh.
what I'm gonna
Because in
do
general
is
with
wait
the
a second, and then
IL
I'm gonna do
routing
1,
here,
2,
you need
3,
to be very
4,
careful about the
5,
amount of
6,
damage you
7,
receive.
8,
Here it seems
9,
that you could go to
10 little
doing the jump stabs,
animations in the water, and
but,
that's actually going to pull
at some
Hydras towards me
point
faster.
it was pretty...
If I'm able to get this speedrun strat, I should be able
was
to do a
expecting
series of
Hydras to
3
go
different
down
jump
into the
stabs to
water
get
at
Hydras'
some point,
head to
but
turn
he
in the
didn't.
water, so I can
Oh,
end up
rage,
automatically
rage. Hands
So
together,
let's see.
folks.
She's trying it now.
Iota.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Jump.
Come
Jump
on.
again. Oh, where are you? Where are you?
Yeah.
Grab on, grab on.
Full-
Oh, don't dive under.
never
Don't
jump
dive
here.
under.
And
Never jump here. Okay. She got it.
That was risky.
amazing.
Ooh, that
I
was
was able to
okay,
stab
okay.
that out, and
Such a-
actually,
oh my
you got to see
God.
the speed, like the full-on speedrun strat. It took a death,
Oh.
but here we go. Okay, so
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
clutch.
took a
on this
death, but,
Colossus,
it's
the
totally right,
nodes
actually. It's
just take hits to minor
good
weak
point,
points,
like, to
so they don't count for
show
like
that when
full-on
you start
damage
from
to the Colossus.
the-
But now that I'm
at
here,
the
and
position,
I got here pretty
it's
early in the
the
animation
default
Yeah.
cycles, I should just be
It's
able to
actually
stab
pretty
that all
good
the
That-
way
setup.
home.
That actually went alright.
And
do it.
there's Ely Boy.
Nice.
Down. Amazing.
Nice.
Wonderful. Oh my god. That
was a
fight
really good
was
recovery,
so
though.
stressful.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the IL setup.
I love the design of this
Occasion to
Colossus,
still
but
show the,
there are a lot of people
this,
who actually
this one,
will
like
watch
the
the speedruns
manipulation,
of
which
this
is
who
an
have,
interesting
oh god, I
thing.
think it's called agoraphobia, which is the phobia of monsters.
I can't remember if I heard them say that it was like one of the more difficult tricks in the run. Because it really,
I think
really
it's
is.
deep bodies of water because
Yeah.
I learned about it because I love the ocean and I'm not scared of it in any way whatsoever. And I learned about it from all these people being like, ah, every time I talked about the ocean.
Oh my god. It's so strange too because like I
So
grew
many
up
people start
going
playing
onto
Shadow
lakes and
Tigers.
going to the ocean, so it never really scared me either.
Pussies.
Also, like big monsters and fish living in the ocean, I also get it
Play Subnautica, guys,
because
on the
there,
big
Yeah.
there are incidents.
Okay, that's a little bit too scary.
We've
Subnautica is
discovered
like-
more of space
It's
than we
the-
have
this
of the
kind of
Earth's
thing.
ocean. Just think about that.
Reef and
I mean,
Leviathans
here's
are
the thing.
basically
Okay,
more
so I
threatening
grew up.
Hydrases.
I was born on Oahu, and so my
wow.
parents had a commercial diving company, and so they threw me in the water like before I learned to walk, and so that's where my lack of fear of water comes from. However, you know, you also have to have a lot of respect for the ocean, right? Because it doesn't matter how much you love it, it's still gonna knock you down if you turn your back on it
Well-
and drown you mercilessly if you're not paying attention, right? So,
Mhm.
so
Positive.
Okay.
you know, fear of drowning and like being deep in the ocean, that kind of thing is primal. Fear of like large predators, that kind of thing is primal. But when I hear people talking about like, oh no, what's in the ocean? I'm like, you know, I feel strongly about things like sharks and actually how endangered they are because we are so primally afraid of predators for good reason, for survival reasons. However, we're the apex predator now, and
Not in the water,
we
we
are
aren't.
murdering them at an unprecedented rate. And it's time to calm the hecky down about sharks and things like just be smart when you're around them, but you don't need to be afraid that if you're standing in 5 feet of water that a shark is going to come for you.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Voilà.
okay.
Exactly.
it's
Like
okay,
I feel like there's so much misinformation about
She
the
has only one
actual
bar of battery
aggression
now.
and what
I
causes
hope
it
you have a
in
cable,
sharks
not
and
far.
so many other animals just that are
It's just like, you know when you like show off like your PSN profile?
Yeah.
solely for that
You're not really
reason.
supposed to
People
do it in a
haven't
marathon
given
because you
them
don't know
the
who's
respect
watching.
that they need
Like
in their
a
own
short ad.
environment, and I feel like whether it comes to
Oh, Lord.
diving, whether it comes to more extreme
That was,
sports, whether
Monk
it comes
S.
to
Oh,
going
boy.
into more dangerous environments, you can appreciate and enjoy it while still understanding the dangers of it and preparing yourself. So I think that's a really good mindset to have just in general when going into any kind of dangerous situation. Is you can have fun, you can have a great time. Doesn't mean that the present dangers and need for like an out don't exist.
And definitely no disrespect to people with phobias because I have several phobias myself. However, they have nothing to do with deep water. So I understand how irrational they can be as well. But I feel like, the film Jaws sort of brought about a lot of fear for predators in deep water, and it never really went away.
Yeah, I have no excuse for this that comes from a movie or anything of the form. I have a phobia of fireworks because that's how my brain works.
Oh,
just
Lord.
because like when I was little, I was so sensitive to loud
Yeah, it's
noises
also reminded me
that
of
like
Vietnam.
any kind of loud noise would give me a headache.
Welcome to the
I
rice
was really
fields.
scared by it. And then when I was like 3 or 4, my parents took me front row
Vietnam,
seat to a fireworks
you
show.
had like transparent
Oh
pictures
my
of
God.
men
It didn't go well.
being
I
attacked.
have a phobia. I have a metaphobia,
There's like a
which is a
picture
fear
of like a
vomit. It's
chihuahua.
completely
Oh
irrational.
fuck! I need to find it
I
and
will
put it in
literally run
VC
the
real
other way
quick.
if
Hold
people are
on.
sick.
That would be
Bear with
Some
me.
sort
cool
of
to do like a
emergency.
video of
It's the
TikTok
worst. And I remember being a
remembering
kid
Vietnam.
and seeing that kind of thing like
Images.
in children's entertainment, like cartoons and stuff, and I was like, how
That's
can
sad
they
music.
show this to children? This is like kid me was thinking this.
Okay,
This is my
I've got the
phobia.
picture and
It
I'll
took
put
me a
it in
long time to
VC like
figure out
real
that other
quick out of
people weren't
context.
absolutely terrified by it.
But
There you go.
yeah,
Look at
I
it.
mean, if it's yours, and
It immediately reminded
that
me of
not
that.
everyone's brain works the same way yours does, especially as a kid. Like, it makes sense. And really quick, we are in a fight, so I should explain how this works. So this is Kura
Oh, that's very quick.
I've been having so much fun talking to you and hanging out that like I should talk about the run. So,
You know,
Charm.
yeah, you know, speed runs, the way
Shoot,
that you
shoot.
do. So this fight, Kuramori is actually considered one of the easiest Colossi to speed run, which is really great.
Yes, we
so
include the
it's kind of-
Colossi in our gender
even though it
neutral
feels like a
language.
really exciting
Yeah,
fight,
I want to
we all
use
are like,
day
okay, we
from
can take a
now
little bit of a
on.
break
I'll
here.
use day for
So
all the
basically, the way that you defeat this
Uh-oh.
Colossus is
Uh-oh, Ruby.
Coliseum.
Ruby, stop it.
And the way that I basically fight him is once
do it.
you sign up on the wall,
Oh, HTA, thank God.
and then all it takes is doing 2.5
That's a
steps
foot.
each
That's a
sigil,
foot.
and the
It's not
Colossus
yet
is
just
going to be
totally
dead.
fine.
Now, casually,
One,
this fight is
and then
terrifying because
Yeah,
Kuramori is the
exactly,
first one that like shoots you with,
Oh,
you know,
what the fuck is going
fire.
on?
No,
That was
no,
an
no,
interesting
no, no,
roll.
And
Ruby!
actually
Full-
leaves
okay.
full-on
Yeah.
static electricity clouds that if you stay
God damn it,
in them
Ruby.
too long, you will just
That's good.
continually get your health depleted until you die.
Keeping the run on
so
the
this
edge
is one
of
those
like the
instances,
seats.
much like with,
Oh my
you know,
God!
original World of Warcraft
Why did Wonder roll? He kind of like
Stand.
rolled into Kuro.
and where the
So
damage hits.
the estimate
Don't
is
do it.
140.
Don't stand in
It's
one
for
place.
the time
Don't do.
when you reach
Listen,
the
one of my
home.
roommates is a
Mhm.
like mythic World of Warcraft player, and the amount of times I have heard him complain about people just
Okay,
standing in
no.
a single place and not like
Well,
damage is hitting
we'll have
is
to see.
astronomical.
Like, I imagine if
No, back in the
Claudia
day,
didn't
I
go
did
well,
also,
then it
I
would
used
be,
to, I played a lot of WoW and I did a lot of
it
raids,
wouldn't.
and I know, I just, you're like, don't stand where the damage is, and I'm just like, oh, my heart.
Yes,
Oh.
exactly. So Kuramori is one of those fights where like if you're playing it casually, do not stand where the damage is. So, but we took out that fight really simple, and we're moving on to one of
The best.
So,
the best one.
the fights that I've gotten memed on are actually fights that I'm
Sarah, no.
usually really good at. So the like one or two fights where I really struggle, I'm a little scared for
Bass.
today. I'm not
Bass.
gonna lie. And we are headed towards one of
What's
those
this?
right now.
What was
the
it
sex
already?
Colossus,
Bass,
I refer
stop
to as
pestering me.
Little
Stop
Boy or
pestering me.
Geyser Boy.
I'll put it in
Colossus.
chat.
And
Hold on, we'll make it like a copy
is
pasta.
huge desert filled with geysers that like take turns
Pestering
spouting
me.
at that moment. And what you normally do
There you
is
go.
this Colossus doesn't have weak
Copy and
spots
paste it.
on like the very bottom of hooves or on its face or anything like that. Is you have to knock it over by luring it over
Oh,
those
merde.
geysers. And then once you do that, you're able to, there's all sorts of fur on the stomach, you can climb up, and then the only sigil is on the
The
head, and
copy
just
paste
snap it all the way home. The way
There you
that
go.
I do this fight instead, because, you know, speed running, there are two different
Gotta
speed...
go fast.
Yeah, gotta go fast, exactly. So there are two different speed run strats for this fight. One is...
Gee.
If
You got a
I
reply
jump
from that
onto one of
person.
the front knees and side jump at exactly the right time,
G.
then it would essentially
Only
allow
one
him
G.
to propel onto his head just immediately. It looks kind of nonsense. The trick that I'm better at, the one I'm going to do instead, is called the rib strat. Some people, because
Nice.
it is a harder trick to pull off for some people, for me it's actually the
Anyway.
easier one in this fight. Some people call it the rip strat, like R.I.P.
Yeah.
No,
And
rip strat's
the way that you
viable,
do it
shut up.
is once I line up with the Colossus, and basically square off to the point where he's going to fire at me, I just dodge past that and grab onto his ribs, then use his leg to propel all the way onto his butt. So it's very
I remember
specific
seeing loads of
timing
people do it on
and we're gonna see how it
PS3
goes.
versions.
And this one you
Burned
actually
into my head.
a little longer than usual before skipping the cutscene, just to make sure that you get the right animation at the very beginning of the fight. So I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
And
All right, is
square
the fight
She's gonna
starting
try to go
now,
for the
or do we
head.
have time for
Yes. Side jump.
donation?
What?
Okay, all right. I'll wait until after.
Yes,
I'll wait until
as
after.
soon as
Okay,
we're
so
done with this
she's going
fight,
for
please
the-
read that donation. But I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, I'm on
Yes,
the roof.
yes, it's for
I'm
you,
gonna
it's for you, you've
all
got
the
it.
way back onto my leg
Oh
and
my
then grab
God.
onto
Ciao.
your
That
amazing
jump
first
she
try.
did.
Nice.
That see that can we just do that all the time?
Nice.
That would be
Big
so stellar. Okay, so let's see.
I think I remember in the PS3 versions, like you'd aim for a higher rip so
Now
that you
I'm
wouldn't
on
have
the
to jump
head,
down to the
and
leg.
got that leg strat the very first try. Basran is gonna throw me around a ton. This is the other thing about this fight that even for casual players is really rough.
Up, so strato bust.
The first half of the fight, there is no actual plant because for the first half of the health bar, Bassaran's gonna keep doing this animation of throwing his head back, which even if you're in the quote-unquote plant of the Colossus, it's going to knock you out every time. But now that I am a little past that half damage point, he's gonna start switching to this animation of shaking side to side, and now I can maintain the
She has a
plant and
good
just
plan.
stab all the way home. And I think I'm in exactly the right position that I want.
And
Come
I
on,
guess
home
it's
is that.
finished. No, okay.
There we go.
That's a
Bassaran's
very
done.
clean
Okay, now is the
Bassaran.
perfect time to read donations.
Oh, read donation.
All right, where Ozma sent in $7 and said, "Speedrunners love to our
Hell yeah.
beloved horse. Ruby, you're doing wonderfully. Thanks for what you share with so much passion. We're all behind you at Team Eco Speedruns, less than 3."
I love you, Team Eco Speedruns fam. There are so many people from that fam in the chat. So
The
I
fam,
see like
the fam.
Azima's here,
Fam.
Yuzu's here, and then people who like come to my personal stream and are part of the crew. So Raoru and Woohoo and Temporal Mechanic and so many others. Thank you so much for being here, everyone, and supporting an
Oh
awesome
no, my stream
cause.
buffering.
Okay,
I got
let's
it.
see.
Right.
If there are any other, yeah, the next Colossus is gonna take a bit to get to. So if there are any other donations or announcements,
fucking ad.
now is the perfect time to do that.
Lovely. Well, that one went towards unlocking those cutscenes for Pepsi Man. Now we are sitting at $79 out of $100. We
and you
only
know
need
what? I wanted to
$21 to
leave,
watch the cutscenes in Pepsi Man. And speaking of
but I couldn't.
cutscenes,
It was a
there is
million
another
units.
game that you actually
basically
personally I think
it was,
really need to see,
trolling
Ruby.
aggro.
Yeah.
Mort the Chicken. If you have
But,
not, have you seen
I
Mort the
couldn't do it.
Chicken?
No, what is this?
No.
Oh my, Mort the Chicken is an experience. If you think Pepsi Man is an experience, Pepsi Man is like a kind of like a meme-tastic corporate experience, and Mort the Chicken is like a transcendent experience. You won't know who you are or what's going on by the end of Mort the Chicken. It is just, it's kind of indescribable. It's really, you're gonna make some noises watching Mort the Chicken.
Oh boy.
I made a large number of noises. So anyway, we want to watch the cutscenes in Mort the Chicken. In order to do that,
Large
we
number of
need
noises,
a lot more
okay.
donations. We're sitting at only $15 out of the $100 needed. So once we unlock those Pepsi Man cutscenes, Mort the Chicken is next on deck. I am emotionally invested. We really I wish I could describe Mort the Chicken, but it's just maybe somebody in chat can do it better than I can. It's funny, I can't remember specifically what happened. All I can remember is how I felt. And how I felt was like my mind was being blown for the entirety of the game.
I am so curious now. Okay,
Oh, no.
yes,
It sounds
everyone
like
please donate to
everything that
Pepsi
she's
Man. That way we
talking
can
about
also make
again,
Mort the
everything.
Chicken happen. I need both of these
And
things,
that's
please.
totally
Please,
crazy,
please.
absolutely.
Oh my god, and I was gonna say something else. There was something you said.
Did you get that horse pet in? Did you pet the horse for that dono?
So how, I was gonna ask, thank you for reminding me, how much was that donation? Because I didn't know how many horse pets.
It was for $7, so there's another horse pet.
Okay, amazing. So, actually, you know what? There's
And just a reminder to anybody who has just joined us that we have an incentive to pet that horsey. This horse will get pets for every $5 that you donate, so get those donations and pet that horse.
Yes. So
Pet
here's
that
what I'm gonna
horse.
do. As soon as I
Excuse
collide
me,
with
but
another
it seems
object
like
or
aggro
get
is
to
the
this
first
fight, I'm
thing.
gonna dismount
Oh
so
my
I can
gosh.
pet the horse. Right now,
For
since we're
$5,
like
you can pet
in
the
full
horsey.
speed, I'm gonna hang on.
It's like a
but As
fairground.
soon as I have a moment, Agro's gonna get them good pets. All right,
good,
let's
Agro.
see.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
So fun fact, I didn't know that you could pet the horse for years. I discovered this game in high school. So here's the thing. I started playing it in high school with one of my best friends. We figured out a bunch of the tricks together. Then, like, every year, once I got to college and met my best friend,
That's when they learn how to pet the horse, right?
So once we met, we
Oh yeah, I
met
was
up,
there. I
like,
should know.
like once
I've already
a few
forgotten.
times. And
What?
we made it a
remember you
tradition
were
of like
like,
once
yes,
a year and then multiple times a year playing this game together. We discovered that you could
Yeah,
jump on
I
board.
don't
We
have a
discovered
particularly
some of
good
the
memory.
fastest way to beat the fights. We discovered being able to jump off the cliff.
I think
We
you
did
knew
not
at the
figure
time
out
you
that you could
the
pet
Oh,
the
yeah, I
horse.
knew.
And the first
Yeah.
time
I
found
knew,
out
but I
about
didn't
it
know
was
Ruby
when
didn't
I was
know.
in the
Yeah,
Fleet
so I knew it
Fatales
was
run
like,
for
super
JDQ.
crazy
Oh,
And my
Elaine,
commentator
you know,
Usurpering,
discovering
who's
this
an
such a
amazing
moment,
Last
so
Guardian
it's
speedrunner, check out her
almost,
channel if you get the
very
chance.
emotional.
She mentioned, oh, and you can pet the horse, and the 404 error that appeared on my face, no one was ready. I was just like, what?
Windows error noises.
Why in the world would you not tell me this sooner? Okay, so
like, what button do you have to use to pet the horse? Like, why is it so, like, why wouldn't it have happened, like,
So-
like, just even by mistake?
it's
I've got to pet the
basically
horse,
you have to
just before
use the
the
circle
Dodge
button,
fight.
and you have to make sure,
Yay.
rather than having a weapon in your hand, that you are basically using the quote-unquote bare hand option. So I had never like
Whoa.
hit circle near Agro. The game never told me to. And now that we're in this
Yeah,
fight,
yeah.
I should
It's
explain
like,
it really quick, and
diving,
we'll keep
the
talking
game
about
never
petting the
tells
horse.
us,
So
so-
this Colossus is named Dirge. I call him my sandworm.
Oh, in
So
a
the
pillar.
way that you beat this Colossus,
Oh,
is
nice.
you've got
You should do it
really,
intentionally, whoa.
really good timing here. So the way you defeat this Colossus is his weak spot is his huge eyes that you saw. So what I do is essentially shoot those as it's behind me, and then
Including the
try
pets.
and stop him on one of these pillars or on a wall. 1, 2.
Oh,
Okay, I
nice.
think I got
Yeah,
the right
you got
timing
it.
there. So, and what I did there,
You
the
got
reason
it.
I was doing that little number count, is the way that you one cycle this Colossus, which is part of the speed run strat. So trying to make sure that he doesn't dive into the sand again, and I have to like stop him
It's
again and do all the
really-
other animation
really-
cycles a second time.
Yeah, just
Is if you do just the
Really?
exact
Yay!
right amount of damage
One
to the
cycle!
first sigil,
very good.
Let's
then it
go!
allows you, when you hit the second sigil, to
Poggers!
kill the Colossus rather than having an extra sliver of damage or having to come back for a whole other Colossus fight. So, just like that, I got that super smoothly. I got a pillar immediately, which is
shouldn't type
exactly
into
where
it.
I wanted to
I'm
land.
using-
I got the eye of the Sparrow, and I
Including-
was able to one cycle the Colossus. So, Dirge is down, and that was a really solid fight. That made me very happy. But yes, I didn't know that you could pet the horse for years, and I just never encountered it. And then, as soon as I found out, I just started adding petting the horse as a donation incentive to like make up for all the years I missed. That's the reason I do this.
That's the story.
So that hopefully she forgives me.
I should do that,
for
but
not
like
knowing
pet
I could
Trico
give her pets
instead.
before.
The origin story of the.
Well, we definitely
That's
have
the
more
whole
pets
sentence
incoming. Do we have
Oh
time
my
to
God.
read another donation right now?
Origin
Absolutely.
story.
All right, so our very own Oscar424 sent in $21 for Pets and Pepsi Man.
That's
Less
four
than
pets.
3.
Pepsi Man.
That should, in fact, I'm going to check because that
One.
is exactly how much we needed to unlock.
pet.
Yes, in fact, we have unlocked the cutscenes in Pepsi Man.
Yeah.
We did it, fam.
Yes!
Yoo-hoo!
And that is 4
Yay!
pets for the horse as well.
I actually, as you were saying, that we hit the goal for Pepsi Man, I did the 4 pets.
Being
So
echoed.
Agno has gotten in her good pets, and we are on our way. All right, let's...
Number 11.
Okay, so this next Colossus. So I am headed
It's the
towards.
smallest.
Okay, I love the next Colossus, honestly. So there are 2 Colossi in the game that I call the small boys because unlike a lot of the other Colossi that are huge and towering over you, these are maybe 3 times your size. They're not that much bigger than you. However,
Smaller when it comes to giants.
smaller when it comes to
So
giants.
certainly
It doesn't
100
change the fact though that they are
times your
really,
weight.
they are still really
Yeah.
scary.
Only weighs like, you know,
Is,
14 or
the
so
smaller
tons, nothing
boys
too
move a lot
fancy.
faster, and on top of that, they are really, really aggressive. So if they hit you and they get to you quickly enough, their hits automatically stun lock you, and they'll just keep hitting you and stun locking you over and over and over again until you just die. until you're just laying on the ground dead.
Good times.
Yeah, so as speedrunners, the main trick
Nice.
is avoiding that.
She's very
But
What we were talking about before, like, just don't stand where the damage is. Just don't get hit. You know.
Exactly.
Don't-
And
just don't get hit,
there's
you know?
dodge rolls in this
That
game,
easy.
so like that helps a little bit. But unlike a lot of the other Colossi where it's like, oh, this big towering thing, you just like have to launch onto its head. Oh, this big towering thing, you have to do all these trick jumps. The trick for this one is it's afraid of fire. It's just a little boy who's afraid of fire. So all I have to do is there are going to be a bunch of like beacons of flame. So torch lights in this little shrine that I'm headed towards. And what I'm going to need to do is grab a torch and light it on fire. That way the Colossus goes, oh God, no. Oh, that's scary. Oh, geez. And what happens then is when you're holding the flaming torch or the flaming stick,
Stick.
Colossus's AI
Stick
basically
him.
says, you're
Yes.
scary, I can't attack you, and I'm going to back away from you. However, if you're holding your sword, the Colossus thinks,
Rock, it's
you're
good.
not scary,
Got it.
you don't have crap on me, I'm going to attack you immediately. So the speedrun trick for this Colossus is actually abusing and confusing the AI. So what's going to happen is, and this
I am
fight goes
confusion.
really quickly, it's like a 40-second or less fight. So I'm going to do the best I can to explain it as quickly as I can. So I jump up here, and Celosia is going to turn around and hit this pillar. As soon as she starts heading towards it, I'm going to jump down just so I land
Very close to her.
But as
Hello.
soon as I
Oh,
grab
boy.
it, it's not going
Because
to
he
be on
can,
fire
like,
anymore. So I need to head to
kick
this.
you. Oh no. Okay, safe.
Let me see. I think
Sometimes
it's
it
on
can
it.
be
There we go.
unlucky,
Okay, so
not
I've got
too
my
crazy.
torch here.
Mhm.
And what I'm going to do, much like I was mentioning
So-
earlier, is I'm just going to drop the torch and pick it back up repeatedly.
Oh, you're very
And what
close to
that
the
does
edge.
Oh, good.
is tricks the computer into thinking, I'm afraid of you. Just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm afraid of you. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. And that forces Celosia close enough to the cliffside that I'm
It's
able
like,
to get her to
cooking,
activate that
there are 3
animation more
ingredients,
quickly of
Celosia,
falling off
fire,
the cliff so
and
that her
beef.
armor pops off her back. Now that that's done, it literally only
Spicy.
takes 2 stabs and Celosia's down. There we go. Easy fight.
So I
Celosia.
actually had a question. This is like rolling
Yeah.
back a little bit, you know, because I know you can definitely take fall damage in this game, and I watched you like fall off a flippin' cliff to get to Celosia, and you were fine.
But,
So,
no,
It's
for
the
some reason it's
distance
not
that you fall. So there are some.
is it? Okay.
Yeah. So, kind of like how there are some games where you take more fall damage if you fall from a greater height. This is one of those games where there is a certain threshold within which, yes, you will take a lot of damage, but it's not enough to kill you. So, like the second fight also, I jumped off of the cliff just directly onto Quadratus. That fight, you know, you jump just directly down onto that cliff face. And then I'm trying to think
Honestly,
if there are
I
any
found,
other places that I'm going to do really
these,
extreme jumps.
uh,
Oh, God.
I mean, falling
I'm
is
not
not
sure. I
huge
can't
in
remember,
Shadow of
but
the Colossus.
you,
It
yeah,
doesn't cost
it's within a certain
cost
threshold.
No.
You still
much
don't
life.
necessarily die.
much damages.
And we
There's
were
the
heading
like
towards the
eco
end of
where like the
Colossus
death
fight. There's
plane
a
like
big
switches
boss
up
on the
every
other
like
side of
each
one.
area you're in.
Oh boy. So this next
Because
one
oh my god, the
is a,
death plane eco
heartbreaker.
it gets on my nerves,
Pelagia,
especially towards the end.
Tooth boy, dentist. There are a million different nicknames I use.
That's true.
And this one, the reason why it's like the base.
And TLG, it's like you break your leg and you have to wait out the animation, which sucks.
Is it probably has the most variance in RNG versus a lot of the other Colossi. You can think that you understand the movement cycles, and then she'll do something just completely different one day to say, "Huh, you
Which
thought
one?
you understood how this fight works?
Pelagia?
That's cute."
She's talking about
And on top
trilogy?
of that, the
Think so.
timing and positioning
Okay.
and percentage of hits for this Colossus in order to get the one cycle is really precise.
Is Ruby gonna go in from the side
How the actual fight functions
to get a
once we
better
get
setup? I
there.
wonder.
But if we have any more donations or announcements, now is the perfect time to read them.
We absolutely have another donation
Yes.
from Young Thunfish for $5 who says, I'm a simple man. I see a pet the animal incentive. I donate. And horses are basically just oversized dogs. And I like petting dogs.
Oversized
Less than
dogs.
3. That is another pet for our horsey.
Okay, just everything about the way that donation message was written, I appreciated. So thank you for the donation, and thank you for just making me smile and making my day. So as soon as I get up to this cliff face, I'm gonna have to dismount Agro in just a second. So as soon as I get to the part where I dismount before this next fight, I'll make sure to get that pet in. Let's see.
And that one
Pre-fight
actually
pet.
did go towards our Mort the Chicken Watch the Cutscenes incentive. So we're now sitting at $20 out of the $100 that we need to watch the unbelievably ridiculous, you do not want to miss cutscene.
Agro.
So
How could
still
you?
$80 to go. But how many pets would that be for the horse? Let's see, it would be like 10. That would be 15 horsey pets.
Yeah, it would.
think?
And also,
only
I
only
just
15
saw
horsey pets to unlock the cutscenes.
sporadic. The big donation for the whole event just hit 4,000. We're at 4,009.
Oh yeah, 4K hype.
That's awesome. Holy crap. Thank y'all so much. And how many days are left? Like, people still have time, right?
Make it 420, goddammit, everyone!
Technically, we're on the 3rd day, I think. You know, I tend to think of this as, I guess we've kind of rolled over into Saturday. It's like 7 a.m.
Oh
for me.
no, I'm actually getting tired.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Yep, it is
Oh, no.
10:26 a.m. for me at this moment. All right, let's see. All right, so I am now off the horse. Let me give good pets first. All right, pets for good luck. Perfect.
Yay.
Okay. So one thing that's really, really nice about this nowadays is this is a really pretty view. Getting to
Oh, West Coast,
all the
West
waterfalls,
Coast. I.
things like that. Every time I do
Okay, I
this
believe
or
you.
jump on this pillar, though, it always makes me anxious because when I first played the game, I fell off this waterfall like 4 or 5 times and didn't see the save point around the corner, so I kept having to go from the central shrine to here. And
Oh boy.
when you're first playing this game, I'm
Yeah,
navigating
start from the
quickly,
shrine
just
again,
because
and then run
I
all the
know
way
how to
back.
get places.
Run,
But
kill.
when you're first playing it, one of the biggest challenges in the game isn't just figuring out the Colossus fights, but figuring out how to get through the forest and how to like navigate the Forbidden Lands. So it would take me so many hours to just figure out how to get to a Colossus and hopefully not die on the way there. Of course. Okay, so I'm gonna start pointing things out because this fight has a lot of moving parts to it, and I'm hoping I can fit in the whole description. So, as you can see, these pillars that are kind of in the background,
Not going in from the
those
side?
are actually one of the main things that we're going to use for the mechanic of this fight to our advantage. So this is the Colossus.
It's okay, I believe.
Beautiful design.
Righty.
A lot of people actually theorize that this is only the bottom
Ooh.
half of the Colossus, and the top half was like torn off, which is why there are the teeth on the top of the head there, because it's like the bottom part of the jaw.
Feeling safe?
So what I'm gonna do is
Ooh.
shoot Pelagia, get her attention. She's
Hey,
gonna
you're shooting
shoot me
again?
once or
I
twice,
think they've,
and then once I
they've
get this
got something
jumping animation that she's
consistent,
doing
now
right here,
for
I'm gonna be able to
to
jump
apply
onto her face.
the NTA
Ah.
to,
Perfect. Okay, so we
to
got that just
80%
right
of
out the
this
gate.
was not very clear.
She, as soon as she lowers her
Yeah,
arms,
that's different.
I'm gonna be able to use these teeth on her
I
head
don't remember
and just
exactly
hit
how it
them
went, but I
repeatedly.
think it's some
That way I
Japanese
can get
player
over
maybe
to
who
this
figured,
next
like,
platform.
and
Then
Sean
from
as well
here,
used to,
what I'm gonna
like,
need to do
yeah, Sean has
is
something
lure her and
to-
get her attention, so she
to
does
get
that
the
same kind of
setup
thing
of
of
the
pulling
NTA,
her
and
legs
so
up,
you get on the
but
helmet
up on this pillar
very
or
soon.
up on this platform. The
Like,
difference,
two
though, is
arrows.
usually just casually playing
Oh, what
this,
is Pelagia
you
gonna
would
do?
hide.
Oh!
That way
Going
there's someone
for-
to look for you. But if you
Drop
jump
down?
on the crest of the head,
Oh,
like
boy.
I did just now,
Oh
you
boy.
can actually automatically
Oh, what the
activate that
You can take
animation.
the time here.
And
up.
now,
Okay,
Yeah,
once
go
you get,
down,
like,
go
the
down.
upper-
Oh, that's a meme stab area. Ruby, don't. No, don't.
No,
Please
no,
move
no,
on the
no,
sigil.
no,
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 Ruby, no! Bad memories. Okay, that actually,
and then
like,
2 more
registered.
full
I think she
stabs.
got
And
it.
if I got
Oh,
this timing
it was a
right,
bit late.
Oh, come
I
on.
Yeah,
basically
she
need to
got
get
it.
in these stabs before it hits the water.
Mm.
Yes!
Oh, thank
Okay!
God.
G.
Ha! Ha!
Ooh, too much
ha.
pressure. Ah.
The reason I'm making those sounds is that is one of the hardest fights in the game,
It's
and the
yeah,
fact that I got
most,
memed on so many of the easy fights, and then that went just flawlessly. Oh, mwah, 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 chef's kiss. Love it. Yes.
It's
Good. Ha! Okay. making Pelagia look easy. Thanks, Temporal Mechanic. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you.
For a second, I thought the tendrils
Wow,
missed
okay.
Wanda and that became soft lock.
Whew.
Lovely, well done.
Thanks.
I mean, that's some like karma, right? That's coming back. You're awake now. It's good. It's good.
Yeah,
It's all
I
good.
think that's what it is. I got some bites of breakfast burrito in my system. I did poorly on previous fights, and then I had to get that.
Wait, did Ruby just say
feeling
burrito? Oh boy, I could kill for a burrito right now.
Okay, let's see. And next,
Yeah, she
I'm
did.
headed
I
to.
don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think I misheard.
The
I'm
next
not
fight
sure.
is really cool.
Now it's
but
big the
I'll explain
burritos.
it in a second.
What's your favorite, Azuma?
Announcements and donations.
Sorry, what?
Your favorite coming up?
Awesome. Well, we did
excuse
actually
me,
have
I did-
another
I
incentive
didn't
open
understand.
up as well in Link's Awakening
Your
to
voice is
open
Big
the egg. And of
boy.
course, we don't have any donations for that
Big
yet.
sneaky
because
boy.
it's just
Big
opened up.
sneaky
We're looking
boy,
for
yeah. Ah, yeah, my
$100
favorite boy,
to
of
unlock
course.
that one.
I
So hopefully
forgot.
we can get that
Oh,
one as
Shadow
well.
of the Colossus, right?
I also
yeah.
want to draw some
Yeah, yeah.
attention
Yeah.
to the bid war that's going on for the run, not the run after this one, but after the next one for Roller Coaster Tycoon to choose the track color. We have a single donation for a single $1 to turn the track green. Now, if you feel strongly about changing that track color, you can snipe it for only $2. The choices are blue, green, pink, purple, red, and yellow.
Ooh. I mean, I'm Rubiehart, so I would say red. But
No debate.
green's a good color.
Blue is
That's
my
a
favorite
joke
color.
we
Blue is my
always
favorite
do
color.
with
That's what
Foxy.
I would vote for.
So, okay, fun fact. Blue is my
Like,
favorite color,
Funny
but
Foxy.
don't even
red
think about
and
it,
green
chat.
have
He's
always
so
been
funny,
the, like,
Foxy.
they are
He's always
right
saying,
there
like, don't think about
with
it, chat.
blue,
It's just
maybe
number
minus
13 best Colossus.
5.01
Stop
points.
thinking.
So I definitely agree with you on blue, but now that I have started
But
speedrunning
Phalanx didn't
and
win the
Rubiehart
award.
has
Was second
become so much bigger a part of
again
my life,
is the
red
favorite.
has just now become my color, and I kind of love it. So I mean, I would probably after this put in an incentive or put in a donation for red. All right, let's see.
I mean, it won't take much for you to snipe it, and you don't have to worry about those horsey pets once you're done.
No, that's true. That's very true. Actually, I'm probably gonna do that. Okay, so we're gonna be pulling up on the fight in the next few seconds. So the next fight is the reason I said okay, this is gonna be really cool. We actually have started a tradition in the Team Eco community, having Team Eco Marathons awards.
Hell yeah.
So not to brag, but I did win best friend of Agro. So, you know, me giving her all these pets seems highly appropriate. But also, Phalanx, this Colossus, was voted the most beloved fight. And the reason why this is
No,
such a
that's
cool
not true.
particular combat
That's
sequence
not true.
is A,
No,
this is
Phalanx
the
got
biggest
second.
Colossus in the game. If you watch
But
as this thing
usurping
goes by,
the title.
it's absolutely massive compared to any of the other Colossi. And
False
to
advertising.
pick up
I
this
couldn't
fight,
agree more. with
Okay,
you.
okay, recording over, let's fucking just head out
you
right
wait for
now.
them to get aggravated
Riot.
and you dodge their attacks.
Sorry, what?
Phalanx is a pacifist.
We'll say like,
Will
oh, how could they say that? Like,
ever
stream,
attack
recording
you.
over,
The
that's all just
most that
riot.
she'll do is if you happen to overstab on one of the sigils, then she'll dive.
No aggro riots on the Phalanx today.
But again, if there were a small creature
Nice.
on top of me trying to kill me, I would do the same thing. So like, I get it. So what's gonna happen with this is I shot out those air sacs so that Phalanx lowered, and now that I am on the back and on the sigils, I'm gonna do 1.9 stabs to each sigil. So rather than doing a full 2 stabs, and the reason for that is, like I said a second ago, if you overstab, so if you do a full 2 stabs on each sigil, the Colossus will actually do a full barrel roll, and not
Do a
only
barrel
does it
roll.
lose you a ton of time being able to stab the sigils, but it also start kind of like
Don't forget the fourth sigil.
once you overstab on a sigil, it starts a timer, and the Colossus will only stay in the air for so long, which basically makes it so it's impossible to hit out all 3 of the sigils. And then these panels,
Wonder.
so if you see I'm under this panel right here, they'll close so that you can't even get any more hits in, no matter how hard you try. But since I didn't overstab, I was able to get Phalanx. That was a really
Nice,
smooth
queen.
fight too. And we are, oh my god, the next fight, is my favorite fight, and I am so excited. Heck yes. Okay, so hey, do you like dogs?
Oh god.
I do like dogs. I also like cats, and I am now hosting on hard mode because my cat has jumped into my lap.
Oh my god, that's so cute. I would have had dogs in my lap. I'm actually normally I have like an at-home studio room where I do my streaming, but right now I'm in a different location because I'm puppy sitting for my mom. But the puppies are being very vocal about killing their own colossi, aka barking at tiny birds, earlier. So I decided to let them outside for the duration of the run.
You should have seen it, like,
For
the
a
other
hot
day,
second, I
like,
thought
the
you were
dogs
saying, like, the
were
puppies are peeing,
barking
and I'm like, that'd
at,
be
like,
very distracting.
nothing,
I would have a really
and,
hard
like,
time
they bark
playing
so
games.
high-pitched, it was so
No,
funny.
If that was happening, you just look over and you're like, ugh!
And Ruby started barking at the
so
dogs, and honestly, it was such a
here's the thing,
vibe.
too. So one of the dogs is very smart, like very smart. Don't get me wrong, but my so much when she was little that my dad was like, okay, no training is working, nothing else is working. Why don't we use a shock collar? Which I am very against, but like that's what my dad decided to do.
Just have a really hard
You're
time
doing
mounting
shock,
first.
shock, shock, shock.
Absolutely.
Ruby,
genius
charge
he
your
is,
controller.
but, oh, it'd be a shame if I figured out how to outsmart this thing. And then she did, because she figured out that if you bark at a high enough register, that for some reason, the collar doesn't register it. And now
Really?
it's
Wow.
high
I don't
pitched
think
forever.
that's gonna make it until the end of the round.
Yeah.
I don't know how long
An
the battery
inadvertent
lasts.
training.
Is
All
that,
right, I
last
do want to point out. I
election
don't know
I
if you
don't
saw
think
it. There was a message on the screen about you having a low controller battery. Do you have another controller you need to switch to before the end of the run? You think you're gonna make it?
Actually, you know what?
Let's
I
move it.
am gonna
Yeah.
be just fine.
Cool.
I've got
Wait, Ruby wearing double denim? Oh, daring.
here. I'm literally still hitting the X button and driving. I'm just getting plugged in.
Off screen.
Excellent.
To fucking change over.
An hour. Emerald is saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, I saw it flash on there, and I was like, "Oh dear, this could be bad if it was in the middle of a fight." Let's say something.
Mine doesn't either.
Really stay.
I never let my
The
controller
nice thing
get
is,
low.
though, these
I don't like
roads
it.
actually take a lot longer to get to, so we've still got some time. So, of all the times to get that low battery message and need to plug back in, this was the perfect time for that to happen.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, we're all good. We're Gucci.
All right, excellent. And Atrice in the chat said to stop the run and show the cat. However, the cat has already run away. And the big hard mode thing about me doing stuff while holding the cat is that my cat is not very good at putting her claws back in. So when she decided to jump off my lap, she hooked me in 2 different places, and I had to unhook her before she could. I mean, it was
Interesting.
my clothing, but you know, cat was trying to
Interesting.
pull my pants off while I'm hosting. It's just not.
That seems a
What the
little
fuck?
unprofessional. Like,
I
tell
do
your
not
cat to
think
get
so.
it
Just-
together.
The host cat
Rude,
jumped off of their
frankly.
lap, and
God. So we okay.
as the cat jumped off,
so
the
we
claw
had a
hooked
new
onto
roommate
their
who moved in
pants.
with us recently who
So the
had a
pants
cat,
always came off
and
the cat.
I was little.
Okay.
Something like that.
I grew up with a dog, but I was like, I love dogs, but also I really want to have a cat at some point. So when I found out that we were getting a kitty, I was over the moon. Just putting it
want
out
a
there,
cat.
to be quite frank. And this
Ah.
cat is obsessed with sinks. Like,
Wait,
absolutely
what?
obsessed.
Snakes?
As in, any time that he sees you, he'll stop, meow at you adorably, and then lead you to a bathroom so he can rub his head under the sink and you can turn it on so he can drink.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
just
Thanks.
how
Oh, my mom's cat is the same way. Yeah, he
Yeah.
wants to drink out of the sink. He really wants to stick his head in the water. He'd be really upset if you don't turn it on for him, too. And you have to turn it on just right. You can't turn it on too high. You know, it has to be like a convenient trickle
Yeah, and
for His Majesty.
so I found out
Convenient
I can do
trickle.
that too,
That's
because, like,
poetic.
Leo isn't the only cat I've met who does that.
Because cats like fresh running water. They typically don't like still
and is
water.
the most sassy about it.
So that's why they like tap water, because it mimics running water.
Is because
Ecology.
they instinctually know that like running water is
Oh.
cleaner.
Oh fuck, Ruby's like describing
Wanna
it as
drink
well.
out
We're on the
of
same wavelength.
running faucets and running water because it's gonna be cleaner than a like sitting food bowl.
I had heard that cats prefer fresh and running water, but I didn't know that that was specifically why they went for the sink. I mean, it makes sense though.
Yeah, so I didn't know either, and then a few weeks ago someone told me this, and I was like, that makes a lot of
Is
sense.
that
I would
someone
want to
you,
verify it,
Yuzu?
but
What?
it
What?
honestly
Is that
tracks for
someone
me.
you who told
Okay,
you
and the
No,
reason I
no.
asked you, by the
No, I
way,
didn't actually.
why we got on this lovely
It
discussion,
wasn't me
the reason I asked
giving
you
Ruby
about
that
Colossus
knowledge.
Is the next Colossus is my absolute favorite, and
I
he's
give different kinds of knowledge.
that? Oop,
The useless kind.
beep 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 beep.
Beep, meep, meep.
Buffering.
Oh no!
you may be the protagonist, but you're not the hero. And that actually is something that this game is really great at. Is like so many things are built into the lore and into the implicit storytelling, since there aren't many cutscenes to actually guide you along the way. So everyone kind of has their own theories about how things work. But when it comes to this Colossus, there's this big city, and he's just
Super Jumble Bus!
He just wanted to protect his city, and now I'm gonna mercilessly murder him because speedrunning. Yay! So, as you can see, oh, there he is in all his go
Gotta go fast, right through the dog.
Gotta go fast, right through the dog. So the way that
You
you
don't even get to appreciate Zenobia! No!
what you would actually do is get him to hit those multiple times, and once he does, it knocks over the pillars and then eventually makes a huge land bridge for you. But I'm actually just gonna skip all of that because it's a speed run, and I'm gonna.
Where's
go
the fast
to final
movement
pillar.
tech?
There are two different.
Where's
ways
the
to do
weapon
this, so I'm
switching?
gonna see if the first one.
Ah!
She's doing
I'll
super
go for
Zenobia's right behind you!
See?
Okay, super jump. Oh,
Mash.
oof,
Oh, that's an awkward place.
oof.
Oh, that's
actually,
almost. Come on.
Nope, it's not
Go
gonna
with
work. Okay,
that.
that's
Hello,
fine.
Senna.
So the reason I was doing that is
Does it
there
jump?
is a
Does it
trick
jump?
called the super jump. No, this is my nightmare. Okay, so there is a trick called the super jump where if you land in exactly the right place,
You
next
can
to
still
that
super
pillar,
jump at the back of the
slam,
pillar!
it'll just propel you directly
Okay.
upwards. It's kind of nonsense.
Jesus,
But
the
what I
magnet
did
hands.
here instead is the old
Zenobia almost like knocked him off.
Kaze jump. And what that essentially does, it's another physics abuse of the game. Because
Inferior jump.
Wonder is close enough. If you actually just saw there how Wonder wasn't quite on the ledge, but then just popped in a little bit so he was close enough. We actually call that his magnet hands, because if Wander is close enough to a ledge, but not quite, he'll just magnetize in and grab directly
reason,
onto it.
interesting
So he
place.
kind of teleports and does that. So what I did there was if you run along the side of one of these pillars and then jump up to that platform, it magnet hands you, or you get the magnet hands and it just pops you all the way up. And now from here, I can just jump on this cliffside, get over to this platform, and much like how I was getting Zenobia to knock over
Walking away.
and all these other things, what I'm essentially doing is luring him over here because he thinks it's another pillar, but in actuality, once he knocks it over, it's gonna break the armor on his back, kind of like with the other small boy, Celosia. So the armor's gonna break on his back, and once that happens, I can jump down and get in the final steps that I need and be all set to go. Let's see.
It does crumble. What are you on about, Emerald?
Exactly.
You literally saw it crumble.
Exactly at the moment he wrote,
Oh my
you were
God.
too busy typing
If you're holding the
the
sword, the charge of
Fuck's
the stab
sake.
is
It was
slower.
totally,
If you're
I agree
holding
that
just
on PS3
your
it was a bit
hand,
strange, but
if you hit
It was
the
just
stab
ah.
button, you'll
You
automatically
You literally
lock
saw
the
like
sword and
bits of it come off and everything. God damn it.
So for
Some people are never happy.
stabs on Colossi, a lot of times we'll switch to the hands. That way the first stab goes faster. And just like that, that's Zenobia. So we didn't get the super jump, but we got the Kaze immediately. So that was solid. Let me see. Oh god. And the next Colossus is going to take a while to get to. All of these progressively take longer and longer to get to. So announcements, donations, hit me with them. I'm ready.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the charity we are raising funds for here today. It is Sweet Relief, and Sweet Relief Musicians Fund provides financial assistance to all types of career musicians who are struggling to make ends meet while facing illness, disability, or age-related problems. In other words, healing musicians in need. They help musicians with medical and vital living expenses, including insurance premiums, prescriptions, medical treatment and operative procedures, housing costs, food costs, utilities, and other basic necessities. In March of 2020, Sweet Relief launched a COVID-19 fund to be used specifically for musicians and music industry workers affected by coronavirus. 100% of every dollar donated is used to pay for medical expenses, lodging, clothing, food, and other vital living expenses for those impacted due to sickness or loss of work. So that's what we're doing here today with this beautiful, beautiful speed run. So if you do have a little bit of money that you can spare, please do get those donations in. And remember, for every $5, we'll pet the horsey.
Yes, and I want to tack on to this a little bit. Just speaking from
I feel like if I donated every time someone was in a marathon, I'd be broke.
Any musicians or
Yeah.
people in the arts, just in your personal
so,
life,
people have been active also.
there are
so
so many people
Mhm.
who have been put out of work during the pandemic because they are part of live orchestras or part of live musical theater, who are, you know, private music teachers
She
who
always
teach in
gets
person,
so
who
beautifully,
have been
involved
displaced
by
from their
the-
companies, displaced from their jobs, who,
like
you know, use that as part of the
purpose
part
of
of
the
or all of the,
donations.
you know,
Mhm.
vast majority of their income. And on top of that, me speaking from the perspective as an actor and artist, I know that not being able to work in
Again, that kind of sales pitch always works.
for and I trained for years was really heartbreaking, and that's
She's
Like
like
Ruby could throw
she's
shit on a
like
stick.
It was
the
another way
best
that I could throw myself
resume,
into an art form I
like the best
enjoyed.
CV I've ever
Um,
seen,
Throughout
but
the
alive.
course of the pandemic, that was
Like, you
going to
look
be
at-
safe, but a
Yeah.
lot of people haven't had that same opportunity. So, just as someone who, from my own personal experience and from firsthand,
Just imagine having like that much charisma
lost work because of the
and
pandemic,
charm.
please, please, please donate to this cause if you can. It does so much good work for so many people, and I know to me personally, it's a really great cause and means a lot. So, yeah, give if you give the chance. Just wanted to say that if you don't know anyone who is an
I
artist
forgot the
struggling in the
sandbox.
pandemic,
She's giving me idea.
trust me,
Oh lord.
every dollar helps.
Yeah, no, it is so true for so many reasons. Not only because, like, especially if your performance involves singing in any way, that's definitely just sort of off the table right now. Unless you manage to do some sort of live stream instead. Like, as you were saying, you got into speedrunning, and I know some groups that have gotten together and started doing live streams of their events, but obviously you're just not going to make the same sort of money from people coming in and picking up merchandise and things like that.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, you can't do group musicals. Like, that doesn't exist right now, and if you do, it's like with the work of editors, and it's like people, especially in the world of live performance, so music and theater, have had to completely rework how the industry works. So, like, I know a theater company in the area who, in order to survive, like, they made a video game recently because a few of the people on their board are programmers, and like that's how they got actors involved, was by pulling in actors from the area and programming a whole game, because that's a medium that people can reach right now. It's really it's cool, but it's also been like a lot of trips for people in the arts community trying to figure out how to bring art to people
Naruto's sad.
while being stuck at home. So just facing that challenge as professionals is also like a huge thing.
And I would say on top of that, anybody in the arts just in general is probably struggling in general, just because the pandemic hit so many people so hard. Most people don't have that
Fuck art, I hate art.
to put towards the arts that they might have otherwise been spending.
Exactly. There are theater companies who are like struggling because of that. There are musicians who
Very
have
cool,
like
and talking about
patrons,
something totally
and
different.
they
Perfect.
live off of that patronage, and those
Good.
people aren't able to give as much, or you know, have had to reprioritize.
That's half of it
So
done.
It leaves a lot of people in the lurch.
Come on.
Got it.
All right, really quick. I'm gonna come back to this, but hey, we're in a fight. This is Argus.
you know,
I'm doing
speedrunning.
I'm
Oh,
doing
what did she do?
great. I'm doing great with this.
What the
So,
fuck?
the
Okay,
way we beat
she
this
could
fight
place here.
is
Oh,
so here's the nice thing.
no.
This is not an IL, we can't
She couldn't
retry.
place
Intentionally, so
herself.
I can actually explain
Die
this fight.
reset.
Basically, I went to do a side jump, but I figured that it'll be easier if I explain this because otherwise you will not understand what's happening. So this fight, Argus, otherwise I refer to him as the champion, this whole arena is made to be breakable. So he has
They
a
have
huge
so many
hammer,
names.
and what you do is essentially get him to break different parts of the arena so you can eventually get
We
to a
should
high
give the
enough
award
elevation
to the most
to
named
get
Colossus.
onto his shoulder
Yeah.
and
Most
stab the
nicknamed
sigil
or
on
something.
his head.
Yeah.
And then he also has a sigil on his hand.
Oh boy.
Where that
Synovia,
lovely
Synovia for
hammer
sure.
is that you can see right there. So what I'm gonna
Synovia.
actually
Tactical
need to do
Synovia
is
would win this one.
normally what would happen is you go to the head, stab that sigil repeatedly, then once it's out, there's a weak spot on his arm, and if you stab it, he drops the hammer. That way you can get down to the sigil, the one stab sigil in his hand. What I'm actually gonna do instead, kind of like how I mentioned that magnetism with Wander's hands before, is I'm gonna do another abuse like that against the game. So I'm gonna jump onto this knee. Wow, I
No,
really
but try again.
maybe I should
Ah!
You can
reset.
continue
Oops.
trying.
So
Oh,
what I'm
this
gonna
is
need to
mean,
do
I
is
agree.
Once I get onto the side of his knee, I'm gonna be able to pop up. And once I try, and rather than trying to jump directly into the hand, if I act like I'm jumping past it,
She did it just
then
before, that's
hit the
unfortunate.
grab button, that's going to allow me to just magnetize into the fur of the hand while he's still holding the hammer. So I don't have to worry about knocking it out of his hand at all.
I love that chat is talking about tactical yeet.
Yes, okay, so
Oh.
we call them tactical yeets if there are a few colossi where the tricks are especially
Ooh.
hard, and if you
That's
mess
not
it
good.
up, there are these
Okay.
conveniently placed cliffs nearby, and if you use one of the conveniently placed cliffs, you can actually just throw yourself off and reset the fight. There are some colossi where it's better to use like backup strats just for the sake of but using backup strats so you don't have to reset because there's no really easy way to kill
Oh, Lord.
your character and
It's
start
hard.
from the beginning of the cutscene.
Regret.
But with this particular
have to
fight, if you're close to that cliff,
tap
face,
R1,
it's actually one
tap
of the
it,
easiest
tap,
ways to
tap, tap,
reset
tap.
a fight. So
No, that's not
I'm
gonna
gonna
work.
there.
No.
Really?
Yeah, you
Really?
regret.
This is just the biggest meme right now.
And
Really?
so
Everything
far
about
from
it.
the
Okay,
playing
nope.
points.
I'm gonna let me go
That
eat
is-
myself. That's fine.
That is an
This
oof.
is fine. Everything's fine. I'm not panicking, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you estimate,
Okay. But yeah. So now that I
Yeah.
have a second, and I can go into a little more detail here. So the way that you would normally get
It
up
shouldn't
onto
matter
this
whether
is if you
they're
start
above
with
estimate or
these
not.
ramps on the side.
Yeah, yeah.
If
but
I mean,
it's
start
once
the-
with
the
those
feels like
until
a-
you get to the next
it's an
layer,
estimate, so
then
doesn't
once
really
that's
matter.
done, you get him to knock over a bunch of the pillars, which allows you to.
Because, you know, even in the Fleet Fatales, I think they only got a 137 estimate.
To slice those in half, that kind of gives you a dice.
But I think it's easier to get into marathons if you lower the estimate
And
a
this
little bit.
cliff that I landed on, actually, fun fact, even though I can't land there right now because, you know, tactical des, it's too high of a height, there are bonus items you can unlock after you've beaten the game the first time. And one of them is a paraglider or a parachute. And you can use that in order to go into places you would normally be able to reach. And one of them is down
That
there
is many a yeet. Oh lord.
in this place that I'm gonna jump to again, and everything's fine. This is fine. Everything's great. Backup yeet. Yeah, exactly. This is not going to be a stellar time. I will say this is probably the worst run I've done in a while, but part of the fun of speed running is like laughing at yourself when you make mistakes.
We all have bad days in speedruns. Sometimes them bad days are during marathons, which is really embarrassing, but it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, we're
see.
spending more time together.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, everyone's having fun.
Okay, actually, you know what? I ended up in a weird
Head
place.
first.
I'm gonna go to the
So,
head
different
first
choice.
because I should.
Damn, you're gonna do head first.
That way.
Allez,
Yep. Okay.
nice.
So really. Okay, so what you do in order to get onto
Oh,
the head
no.
of the Colossus is
Was that too late or too early?
at exactly the
she's
right
maybe
moment,
right
you
to
can
do
end
it
up on the
first,
head,
she's-
and usually that's the part I'm very good at. And
Yeah,
then
but head
what
first
I
is
did,
really hard to
I
get onto the
also
hand,
jumped,
because you...
which
she
is,
could
It's
have
kind of
done
like,
that. She can
launch
hit the
yourself
because
arm.
I've done
into a
head
side
first
jump,
a lot.
rather
think she
than
was
just
planning
directly
to
on the head,
hit
you just
the
kind
arm.
of get long
to get the
forward.
hand open and like do it.
Yeah,
normally.
but
So
you can only hit the arm and get the hand and get him to drop the knife if he does the breaking the bridge cutscene.
True.
Like you
Yeah.
cannot do that
What
like
that I didn't
the
know,
other
and that
way.
I suspect to not be the
Okay.
case on PS3.
Come on.
I have
Please,
no
please.
recollection of this.
Aha!
This
There we
is
go.
the
Okay, so
one
I
that
did the
which
magnet.
is help
I got in the
jump.
hand.
But-
Oui.
And actually
Yes.
got directly
Just in place.
onto the part of the knee that I want to
Come
be
on.
so that's perfect.
Wait, IL, come on.
So he almost hits the ground.
Oh,
No good.
There we
Yes,
go.
excellent.
So
It's
not
not the
as bad
biggest
as I would
launch.
like to be
Allez,
normally,
Please.
but I'm just gonna take it
Regrab,
because
regrab.
this Colossus is
okay, don't touch his breast because he'll shake very aggressively. You got this. Shoulder, yes.
And then once I get to
Ooh,
the
boy.
head, I can just
Nice.
stab it all the way home
Position.
since I took care of the hand sigil first.
Again.
And let's see.
Oh, boy.
The plant on this one is a little harder to nail. His placement is just kind of weird.
Nice.
But there we go.
Oh,
Argus
boy.
is down.
This one
There
was
we go.
chopped.
Ha! Ha!
GG's.
I love
Intense.
it when the Colossi meme me, but the nice thing is we are now headed towards the final Colossus. So, and this one is going to be a long ride. So any like final donations to pet the horse or announcements, this is the perfect time to read them.
Absolutely.
Heck
We
yeah.
have another donation from Temporal Mechanic who sent in $20 and said, support your local artists. That is for Horsey Pets.
Amazing! Thank you so much, Temp. I really appreciate you. And for Horsey Pets will happen in just a moment. I'm gonna make sure
That-
yeah. And if you want to
Go
get
ahead.
no, I was just gonna say if you want to get in Horsey Pets and you haven't seen this game before, I'm just gonna
Oh, Lord.
give you a warning that you should get them in as soon as possible. For no reason
We're-
in particular.
Horse pets closing soon.
No reason that involves the horse falling off of a bridge, but doesn't die, I swear. If anyone in the
spoiled
chat
it.
has a hard time with animals dying, it's going to appear as if the horse dies. I promise you she is not going to actually be dead. But I'm going to go ahead and give these horse pets now, and you should get in your horse pets as soon as possible if you actually want them to happen.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
You said it was for no reason in particular.
Yeah.
And then you said the horse falls off a bridge. So
Yeah, so no reason in particular.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah,
All
god.
right, I was just checking.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. All right, so as far as our incentives that we are looking to unlock, we are now only $60 away from watching those cutscenes in Mort the Chicken, which is a game. It is more than a game. It is a whole experience. It is an entire. I just cannot quantify how much you really want to watch the cutscenes in this particular game.
Undead
I mean,
horse.
like the Pepsi Man cutscenes are gonna be fun, not gonna lie. But the Mort the Chicken cutscenes may have you wheezing and falling off of your chair. So, or your couch, wherever you are. Maybe you'll roll out of bed. I don't know. If you're watching from the toilet, that's legit. Wherever you're sitting, you're gonna fall off of it if you watch Mort the Chicken cutscenes. So please, please.
Oh my god, this comment. Algar is a figment of Wanda's imagination. You see, Wanda is a centaur, but is lying to himself.
Do not have too far to go.
That's amazing. And I will say, as someone who is a big fan of like cult classic or really campy things, so like I am the person who loves watching Rocky Horror Picture Show and Labyrinth and like Repo the Genetic Opera and so many of these others that have like callbacks or nonsense games. Neil Breen movies. If you've never heard of Neil Breen, look him up. He is the best person in bad movie making right now. It's hilarious. But yes, the idea of these games just makes me think of the visceral joy that I get when watching movies like that. So yes, donate so that we can all see that joy and wonder, please.
It is absolutely, absolutely that type of game. And you know, before the game ends, I also wanted to. I've been thinking about saying this the entire time.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a time. Now there's a time. Just so you know, since you were like, "Have you played this game?" I have not played this game, but I have a figure from it. I have
Wait,
like a
oh my
resin
God.
figure. I have a resin figure of the first Colossus.
Oh, what?
And,
I'm jealous.
Yeah, no, like I loved
Gib.
the aesthetic of the game
Gib.
so much that without
Gib.
playing it and only having watched my friends play it, I was like, yeah, I want that.
That's
The
incredible.
fuck?
Yeah, it's It's so pretty. It's such a cool game. And yeah, so Valis
It
and
is beautiful.
Gaius, yeah, the first and the Colossus are the ones that, like, whenever people tend to make art that is more popular for this
Wait
game,
a second. Wait a what the fuck? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no,
that
oh no.
seems pretty on brand.
Oh no, what the fuck? No!
Oh, and heads
Oh,
up for
no.
just everyone in the chat in general.
Oh no!
The rest of the game, we were able to skip
Shit.
all the cutscenes, but for some
Oh,
reason
fuck,
in this
no.
final bit, it was a thing, I think, in the PS2 generation of the closer you get to the end of the game, the more unskippable cutscenes you hit. So we're going to be hitting a few of those unskippable cutscenes coming up.
Okay, when they mentioned resin figures, I immediately, went to my Godzilla, diorama I have on top of my PC,
Hey, are
picked
there
it up.
any other
Two of his
Power
dorsal
Force
things are
donations?
missing, and one of them is chipped.
You know, it's funny. I'm trying to
And
look
I
at
don't
the
recall
numbers.
ever dropping
Loading right
this
now.
Godzilla
Okay.
diorama.
Oops.
Okay. Now, it doesn't
Oh,
look like we had any more donations
God,
come in the last
I
5
hate
minutes
having
or
people
so.
around so
Okay,
much.
because
Oh
if there
no,
were
it's
any
broken.
more
Where are its parts? Oh,
donations,
where has it been?
this is the last opportunity.
Okay, I'm gonna,
After
like-
this, there will
Oh, I
be
hope they
no
didn't
more
get caught
Pet
up.
the Horse
What the fuck?
incentives.
Oh.
It will just be wonderful donations for Mort the Chicken. Let me see.
Okay, found one of them.
Okay,
And of course, for Sweet
Not
Relief.
good.
and for Sweet Relief. Sorry, I thought that went without saying. That was my bad. All right, let's see.
I need some super glue.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to say it.
I greatly appreciate. I
My
great.
job.
No.
I know, and I greatly appreciate you keeping me on track throughout this. So
Shit.
okay, so everyone, at this moment, the Pet the Horse incentive has closed. I repeat, the Pet the Horse incentive has closed, and I would once again like to warn the audience that while it appears as though the horse has died, just to pull back the curtain for a moment, when the final credits happen, which you won't get to see here, but when the final credits happen, there is a cutscene wherein you see that the horse does have a twisted ankle, but indeed does come back. So the horse,
Artax!
yes, the horse is not dead. The horse is not dead. Just, a little wounded. Just a little wounded. It's only a flesh wound.
Horses float.
Uh,
Don't worry, horses. Horses are actually really good swimmers.
Are they really?
In real life, I have a wild story, but I don't know if I have time for it.
Yeah,
About a horse being a good swimmer, but I won't tell it if you're heading for the boss here.
So I will say there's going to be a good moment for it, but it'll be after this fight. So, because we're going to be up on it really quickly here. So just to explain kind of how this fight works, because it is a little nonsense. So what you're going to see is once we get up there, because it is the final boss fight, they decided to make it as intimidating and uncomfortable as possible. And by this, I mean there is a huge freaking battlefield with bunkers and barriers, and this huge towering Colossus shoots heat-seeking missiles. So it's totally casual and it's fine. But what's gonna happen? Normally, what you would do is
I imagine
basically.
again.
Oh my god! For a split second, I thought that I ended up too far away from the pillar and was just going to yeet to my death.
I got very
That would have been
scared.
bad. Okay. Wow, that was not an intentional tactical yeet. So what's going to happen?
This is not,
No, yeah,
not a yeet moment.
not a yeet moment. So what would normally happen is I would go right and then use
Roll.
the bunkers and
Do a
barriers in
roll.
order to dodge. those
Fucking
fires.
roll.
So people actually figured out that there is a specific path you can take where you can get hit between 0 and 2
Ha.
times. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's what
come
you
up
fucking
here,
get.
and once I get on the right path, Malice isn't gonna be able to
You
hit
take
me.
of no prisoner.
So, just like that, Malice is gonna try and hit me, but not quite get there every time. And I'm gonna be able to run all the way to what would be just this final bunker. So that alone just saved me about 6 minutes. So if you're looking at like casual strats versus the full speed run strats.
Feels like
And
6
just like
minutes.
that, as soon as I come out of this tunnel, I'm gonna be underneath the Colossus and we're gonna hit another one of those unskippable cutscenes. So let's see. And it just shows you how huge this Colossus is. The nickname I have for this one is the tallest boy because I was a big Invader Zim fan growing up, and so did you ever watch it growing up?
I mean, I was not a big Invader Zim fan, but I still know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. So for anyone who's not an Invader Zim fan or doesn't know what I'm talking about, the alien planet that the main character comes from is ruled by just the two tallest aliens. They are referred to as the tallest. They get to make decisions.
Find out the hierarchy just completely has to do with how tall everybody
Exactly,
is.
exactly. So when I saw this one, I was like, "That's the tallest boy." Yep. The fight that it's the final Colossus, and it's just he's just a tall boy. And this climb usually takes a lot longer as a casual player, but thank goodness for practice and knowing the right trajectory. Now, normally you would have to do all sorts of stabs to like a back sigil and getting from one arm to the other arm and all this other stuff. What I'm gonna do instead though is I shot the armpit, and that actually registers the damage to the final sigil that I would normally use on the shoulder. And once he does that animation of like investigating me and going, huh, I can jump just straight onto his shoulder, and already I am on the head. And oh, I ended up in bad placement here. I'm gonna see if I can readjust so I can get this plant. Fingers crossed.
Heard story about.
Come on.
Didn't you hear stories
All right.
about?
Cool. I think I got the plant there. Awesome.
said.
Okay, so now that I got the plant, I should be able to just finish this fight out all the way through. Since the only sigil on this
What?
Position.
Reverse.
and this is actually
This
one
is
that you get
fine.
on hard mode. Doesn't have any.
Knocked out.
Just a matter of, you know, he's a shaky boy,
Oh,
and when he tilts his head in all sorts of directions, it makes this part of the fight a little bit tougher. Let's see. Okay, cool. But just like that,
Woohoo!
Malice is done, and now is the perfect time to tell a story, because what's going to happen is essentially the final sequence. I'm going to go from being a normal mortal man to being a shadowy Colossus monster. And the way to speedrun that section is by not doing anything and letting the small people escape. So, perfect time for a story and final donations.
I love that Vape Nation.
All right, I'm gonna check.
Vape
on
Nation's
those
in chat, everyone.
donations
Vape Nation's in
right
chat.
now. It doesn't look like we had any new ones come in. I don't know. Do you want to hear this horse story? Do we need to hear the horse story? You can tell the horse story.
I mean, I'm legitimately curious. So, like, abbreviated version.
Okay,
but yes.
all right. So, when my grandfather was very young, he was riding a horse. He was riding a horse on a sheer cliff, so it was a sheer drop on one side, and it was a very thin path right next to the cliff. The horse was blind in one eye, and the blind eye was on the side where it could see that there was a sheer drop. The drop was into a river, and the horse stumbled and fell into the river. My grandfather did not know how to swim. And so he simply clung to the horse for dear life, and the horse swam to shore, and he made it. The horse made it. I'm here today. That's my story.
That's incredible.
Horses are good swimmers.
Holy crap.
Right? That's a real story. Yeah. And my grandfather has been afraid of water for like his entire life because of that. It was really funny because my parents again had that commercial diving company and dropped me in the water when I was like really little. So my grandfather would always be very, very nervous when I was just swimming, even in a pool. And it was all from that one time that he fell off the cliff while riding a horse.
I mean, that tracks, though. If that happened to me, I probably wouldn't be enthused about going into big bodies of water anymore.
Right?
Yeah,
Time going up.
Okay, really quick. For whoever's running the timer, we are going to be hitting that in just a second. So once my body hits the pool, we're going to be at time. So I will call that. So yeah, this has been
Stop the timer.
Thank you so much for joining us for Mid-Spring Speed Fling and me.
I mean, to be fair, they did start it early.
Run, even though it was very even though it was very meme filled, I had an absolute blast. And I will say, with the way that this time came out, it's probably like 7 to 10 minutes slower than my PB. So like,
Yahoo!
it wasn't my best run in the world. No.
I'm gonna go
Have
look
a
for some
really
super glue real
awesome
quick.
time being here.
I'll be like
Heck yes.
right back.
So as I said, I am a speedrunner from the speedrunner, streamer, actor, etc. from the DC Metro region. If you are looking to watch speedruns of this and the other games in the Team Eco series that I'm just now learning how to run, or just want to see Let's Plays and nonsense, you are more than welcome to follow my channel. The Crystal Crew would love to have you. Also, if you are interested in speedrunning any of the Team Eco games, our community is really incredible. It's honestly part of the reason why I got so deep into speedrunning in the first place, was because of how great a community the Team Eco Speedruns group is. So if you're looking to learn new tricks and have a good group of people to help teach you, we would love to have you. So please feel free to join the Discord. And otherwise, again, Mid-Spring Speed Fling is raising money for Sweet Relief, and it's just a really, really incredible cause. So if you have a few dollars to donate to put it forward to musicians who could use the assistance, whether it be with their own lives and paying rent and medical bills, or just helping them through COVID, it means the world to so many of us, believe me. And hey, that was awesome. Thank you so much for being my host, Sporadic.
Oh, sure. It was my pleasure. I had a wonderful time. It's a beautiful game. It was really, really fun to watch you run it. So thank you.
Absolutely. All right, and that's it.
Right, I'm just gonna send you
I'm all set.
a DM real quick of like my little problem.
All right, great. So coming up on deck.
So yeah, I'm gonna switch off the video now. So it's pretty
Yeah.
awesome, honestly. I enjoyed it a lot. Thanks for watching internet and I guess
Great run. Fun to give commentary to. Yay.
and I mean a lot of technical interesting moments as well, and recoveries in particular. Yeah, that was nice. Alrighty, bye bye.